man, in-unit washer dryer.
Oh, so
Totally.
much, dude. Such a life changer for real.
It's honestly like the thought of just
Oh, I gotta go answer the
not
trivia.
having to leave my place to do laundry. Everything in my place is so much cleaner. Like I've already washed like all my rugs and stuff, and I'm like, I'm doing it, man. I'm really out here doing it.
All right, welcome to Laundry Digest. We're here with
So what kind of washer do you have?
Yeah, no. So Boris is telling his clients to use 3 Tide Pods for a full load. But I really think it's 4. And honestly, I think that was the real rift between Cohen and Rocker in the negotiations. Is Rocker said, I want 4 Tide Pods per load of laundry I'm going to have to wash. And Cohen wasn't willing to part with 3. He tried negotiating it to 3.5. And Rocker said, you silly idiot, you can't cut a Tide Pod in half.
Uh-oh.
What?
Oh, wow. Fly out to the warning track to start off the game here.
Scott, I do apologize also. I happened to be watching the Tigers game when I saw that the Mickey fly out, and like I didn't know if you're
on the phone with John. I was literally on the phone with John, and I was like, "Are you looking at banter right now?" And he goes, "Nah." And I was like, "Go take a look." And he goes, "Oh yeah, dude, like you're not watching." And I was like, "I already said that."
I don't know. You're a busy guy. You got stuff going on. I didn't know it was.
I'm a busy guy because I get paid to watch the Tigers.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
He's literally living the dream. Like, I mean,
Oh, Devers is back. I can't make jokes about that John anymore either.
Oh. So, like our trivia question said, first Sunday night baseball appearance for the Rays in 7 years.
Wow, really?
we're live.
We are live, yeah. July 6th.
Someone's gonna tweet
wait.
about us.
Still
Dang.
Live still says the event's starting soon on my phone.
Yeah, I'm not
Same.
gonna.
I was gonna say we didn't have a tweet out either.
Because I didn't hit the go live button on HotMic.
Oh, now we're live.
There we
Look at
go. Hey.
The funny thing is, I had it up on my phone too, and I just did not even notice that.
Big red room.
You guys missed our very intense breakdown of the Steve Cohen Kumar Rocker negotiations, entirely centered around laundry.
Entirely and centered around the laundry. Good call.
I honestly hope that Rocker barnstorms. I want to see him Savannah Bananas and throw 8 innings, 12 Ks, and just be like, I retire from this. I want to see him in Lee Dome. I want to see him why
just go
not?
from indie league to indie league, just make
well-
one start and then.
Because he'd probably make more money instead of doing NIL at the NCAA level. I genuinely, if I were him,
He'd make no money doing NCAA, right?
yeah, NIL he can do name
can
and
make
Oh,
money
right,
now.
NIL. he
So,
said, yeah.
but I'd assume he could still make more, just, what's up, guys? It's like Savannah Bananas, he could literally put, a GoPro on him and be like, the MLB thinks my elbow's, not fine. Watch this! And then he just throws, 99. That would be...
Watch this.
I'm just saying, a petty Kumar Rocker barnstorming tour would be great for the game.
I agree.
Great for indie ball too.
Yes, which they deserve. Go Gateway Grizzlies and Chicago Dogs. Those are my indie ball teams.
All right. Oh my gosh, JD Martinez, I love you. I miss him every day,
I was
man.
gonna say the ghosts of
Tigers
Tigers
legend.
past.
I miss him every day. His Tigers Twitter's favorite thing is to never let anyone forget that his Twitter header is still Comerica Park,
Really?
Really?
even though he is active on Twitter.
I love that.
So we never let anyone forget that. We're like, oh, he's coming home eventually. It's just a matter of when. Because look at his Twitter header.
He's not. He wants to come back.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I don't know if it was a Kawhi Leonard situation where Kawhi Leonard a Hall of Fame Twitter account. Let me say, man,
Hilarious.
man, if there's anyone that knows how to post in the NBA, it's Kawhi Leonard. Just let me post a deep fried picture of Obama and then not tweet for 3 years. Come back about charity. Go away for a couple.
He's
more.
only liked 4 tweets ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really wish I really wish it was like just a random like Trisha Paytas, like just like one of his legs was just like so out of left field. Like you, Kawhi Leonard, a big mukbang fan apparently.
Yeah, look at that. All right. Pitching matchup is Pivetta versus McClanahan, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
All right.
That
Tweet
was
us
a
out.
fast pitch.
Yeah.
You throw.
That one went 97.
Matthew wants my thoughts on Yadiel Hernandez. I don't
Who?
have thoughts on Yadiel Hernandez.
Who wanted your
I really
thoughts?
don't.
Who?
Oh, sorry. Blank
Blank user.
I don't know who
Un-
that is, and all I have to say about
Unidentified HotMic user.
yeah, all I have to say is sounds like a discount cheap, great value Walmart brand knockoff of the GOAT. So that's all I have to say about that.
How many different stores did you just cover there?
Great value and Walmart's the same brand, just one.
Discount? No, that's true. You're right.
Yeah. Target for life, though. All right, not sponsored, but should be. Target hit us
I
up.
like Walmart.
My dad used to be a Target employee. The best Halloween costume I've ever pulled off was
Why
the,
am I? I'm
my
so
dad's
confused.
old.
Why is Matthew asking me specifically for thoughts on a 33-year-old that has like 100 career plate appearances in the majors?
I
Who's
can't answer
asking?
that.
Who's that? Yeah, I'm so confused. You keep saying
Sorry,
I don't.
sorry.
I've never heard that. Like, is that a country? Like, I don't.
Yes.
I don't. Like, is it like Jordan or Chad? Like,
Chad.
I don't,
Yeah.
I don't know. Like,
Jordan or Chad?
Yeah, my
Jordan,
favorite country.
Chad, Matthew Penn.
Oh, that's why. Because I didn't watch the game today. That's why I didn't understand his question.
Shame.
Okay, well, let's go around and start talking about Carson. You're last. Everybody's of their team's trade deadline, and I want Carson's last because I know he's not happy. Diego, Chris Bryant, how
Chris
we feeling?
Bryant.
How we feeling, baby?
Fantastic. We're feeling great
I know.
about it.
So I know I'll let you sound off, obviously, but I know we talked about it last Sunday, two
I think
Sundays
so.
ago. We talked about the possible acquisition of the Giants getting Bryant, and you were hesitant, but you were hesitant because of getting rid of Bart and other top prospects, and you ended up not having to get rid of too terribly much. So
Yeah.
sound off. Chris Bryant, and a Giant. He homered today in his first game. All three Cubs players homered in their first game with their new teams.
Yeah.
You didn't even let me
Yeah,
say
no.
that, Scott.
I'm sorry, Rude. I'm sorry. And
It's a factual statement.
I feel like
Sorry.
I feel like it makes sense for Diego to go before. Maybe Rudy should go last. I don't know. There's a lot of sad in this deadline.
I mean, do you want to hear like which stage of grief do you want to hear last?
Right,
Because
yeah.
Rudy, I don't know if Rudy's at like acceptance yet.
Yeah,
I'm
maybe
still
we
in
should go
denial. So yeah, I don't know where you wanna. Also,
I'm
Luke, by
happy.
the way, welcome.
I'm
Enjoy
I'm
enjoy the
still in
stream.
denial regarding the Royals. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, that one surprised. We'll get to it.
Yeah.
Diego, Giants, buyers, all in on this year. How we feeling?
Oh, I'm feeling great. So they gave up Alexander Canario and Caleb Killian, are number 10 or number 30 in the Giants organization. And Canario was as good as gone. He's an outfielder. We knew we can get probably good value from him on the trade market. And Killian is another pitcher in our minor league system. And our minor league pitching is looking pretty good right now. And Killian wasn't even someone who's on bunch of people's radars. Like literally 30, barely number 30 on our prospect list.
Okay.
So I was extremely happy with what we gave up because in my head, Canario wasn't even a Giant anymore. Like he was already gone. Because when the news first broke, the original some clown tweeted it was going to be Bart.
So I was going to ask you about that. How it was literally like you're one and then like 4 or 3 organizational prospects.
Bart's 2, and
Okay.
Lamont Wade is just a guy Farhan got from the Twins, who has been mashing this year.
Right.
I was gonna say he's more than just a guy to you, Diego. I know you're
right.
big
I know
fan.
people were
Love
that was
Wade.
and a check mark tweeted that, and I was
Yeah.
like, oh damn.
That's
And
why
then-
I was also confused.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we got we got the classic, rather than just your fake Jeff Passan account getting picked up by Bob Nightingale, we actually got 2 check marks disagreeing.
We're gonna have a whole inning about Bob Nightingale later. Don't you worry.
Don't you worry.
No.
Oh.
If we say his name enough, he's gonna show up.
If you look in the mirror and say his name 3 times, he appears.
He'll tweet Carson Winters is safe in his apartment tonight, and then you're just dead.
Yeah.
The funniest thing about him
Nightingale's gonna
specifically.
dox me.
Sorry, last thing. The funniest thing about him specifically is I've never seen an image of him aside from his Twitter profile.
Yep.
Neither am I.
Yes.
Same.
He could be fake. What if it's just like Steve Cohen? Like, what if it's just Steve
He's had a
Cohen?
Twitter account for 8 years, but it's like, God, it's just been a troll the whole time.
That's what I'm saying. Like, Scott, I think that Steve Cohen's like slow burn to becoming an MLB owner. He's like, I'm gonna get my foot in by being an MLB insider for a newspaper that I don't know anyone reads. Like, I don't know. Like, have you ever been to someone's house and seen a copy of USA Today? I'm convinced it's a shelf situation. I don't know any. Like,
Anyway.
I'm just saying, it's questionable.
It is.
Okay, so
Anyway.
we still haven't let Diego finish.
I know.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. So we didn't give up too much when I thought I thought we were gonna get rid of Bart. I really did. Like, because
Me
last
too.
week I didn't want us to, but I thought it was inevitable,
Totally.
and we didn't. And then we got Chris Bryant. So I was extremely happy with that. I think what makes it even more worthwhile is if we extend Bryant, and I think
Yeah.
there's a good chance that we do, because he if you've heard him talk about being traded to the Giants, he's like pumped to be there.
Yeah, he's already
He is-
mentioned he was a Bonds fan growing up, wasn't he?
He
He
was
was
a
like, I love
Giants
watching
fan.
the Giants. Yeah, that feels like the right move.
Yeah, I was so excited when I started hearing that. I'm like, oh, we're gonna sign him to like a 5-6 year extension after this, and then he's gonna, be chilling. We'll be good. Our third base prospects in the minors aren't looking great, so like we need some sort of bridge. That's not Evan Longoria.
I was gonna say, Diego, I definitely feel like you talked yourself down with Bryant because like the whole week, like Scott mentioned, you'd been kind of like, I don't know if I want him, and I
know.
always in the back of my mind, I was kind of like, maybe he's smartly doing what I did not, and it's like convincing himself that there's no chance that he'll get the big fish, and then you got him, and
Yeah,
he's already
'cause-
homered.
Oh.
so,
And the I'm sure boo. Oh my gosh, I signed up to watch a baseball game in which Nelson Cruz is playing. I'm not sure why I did that.
I was about to say,
future
I'm
Tiger
seeing
Nelson
him,
Cruz?
I,
Question mark.
I'm not even going to acknowledge that. I think it's kind of like the come down of thinking you got rid of Bart, and then like 20 minutes later, like, oh, it's just this. Like, I feel like that's also a nice little drop
Oh yeah.
off
So
there. Yeah.
so I know Rudy was in the we did the Twitter Spaces, and
Lord.
I know Rudy was in there. I don't know if either of you two else were in there, but when I thought it was Bart and Lamont, I was pissed.
Yeah,
Oh, Diego,
Diego's
I was
not
there.
happy.
Were you
Diego,
there?
I was.
Yeah.
Diego, I did a lot of screaming in that Twitter space. I'm
Yeah,
not
I
proud.
was gonna say
I didn't know if you were
Carson
there
and
at the time of me.
Carson and Quinn were just mutually reinforcing each other for a while there.
I was livid thinking it was Bart and Lamont. And I'm like, why would you do that? I mean, Bart, I understand, but Lamont's been nothing but fantastic. Like, he's been our answer in left field for a little while, at least for now. And then I was pissed. And then it was like, JK, someone else.
And yeah, and when you think about it too, I mean, part of the reason why the Giants were supposed to be in on Bryant, and why a lot of people liked the fit, is because it's like, okay, the Giants have had question marks at all of third base, first base, and corner outfield this year, and Bryant can do any of that. So
True.
it really wouldn't make sense to give up a guy at the major league level that covers a lot of those positions as well.
I know. That's why I was
Yeah.
like, why? And then I came back down when it wasn't that. I'm like, okay, perfect. We're
Yeah.
good. And so, yeah, overall, I'm excited for Chris Bryant. Be a Giant. Already had a good game today. I mean, he did have an error on defense, but, like, that's fine.
And honestly, even we can wrap up here, but even even if you don't extend him, it's still a trade you do 10 times out of 10.
Oh, for
like
sure.
Yeah,
your
absolutely.
10 and 30 prospect for a guy that's now going to come in and be, I mean,
He's an MVP.
What,
He's
you're-
our
you're-
two.
He's an MVP.
You're
I mean,
like your best player immediately and you're the hitter at least and well, probably player. No, regardless.
Hey, that's Donovan Solano erasure right there. All right.
Solano's
And
gonna be off this roster in 2 weeks.
And you're adding that to a first place team. Like anytime you're trading two prospects who aren't top 9 prospects and getting a guy who's instantly your best player in first place, like that's a trade
Right.
you're always
No,
gonna
definitely.
Exactly. So I'm so pumped about it.
root,
Like
baby.
I'm
Giants
ready
to the moon.
playoff
Yeah.
push. Giants to the moon. Let's go.
I'll do mine really
I'm gonna
quick.
say, Scott, I feel like you gotta be next.
Yeah, because mine's super short. So like we made one move and we traded Daniel Norris. I like the kid we got. I think the value was fantastic. We got a high single A pitcher that has a really high spin rate slider. He has massive command problems and walks a lot of people. He'll fit right in with our major league bullpen already.
I was gonna say, sounds like a future St. Louis Cardinal right there.
Right, yeah, our whole bullpen is basically just like nasty stuff, no command guys. So that's fine. And Daniel Norris has been horrible, to be honest, this season.
Just
I mean, and he's had such a roller coaster of a career. I mean, he was the number 1 left-handed pitching prospect in all of baseball in Toronto. Him and Matt Boyd get sent here for half a season of David Price. We're all thinking it's incredible value. And then Matt Boyd has outshone him tenfold in his major league career. Norris could never figure it out as a starter. Got moved to the pen, was good for like 20 games in the pen in 2020. And then this year has like a 6, almost 7 ERA, at one point. I think we traded him with a 6.5 or something ERA. I didn't expect him to get moved. I didn't think there was any value there. He's a UFA this season. His years of control is up. Sure, like I don't care. And yeah, the kid we got is even if he never plays in the majors, it's still a trade you probably make because he has a nasty breaking ball, and we'll see. Only 21. So yeah, like cool. The only thing to talk about is the moves we didn't make. Really, Scope is still here, which I was Scope was a really controversial player in this fan base. There was a lot of arguing over the last month about if we should trade him or not. He had like an 1100 OPS in June and has had a 745, 750 OPS every other month of the year. And I think some people kind of misconstrued that as like, oh, look how good he is when like he got hot for a month and he's a career 750 OPS guy. So like he's doing which is fine.
For the price point, you'll take that.
Right,
Mhm.
exactly. So what I started leaning on was, okay, if we trade him, I'm fine with it. And if we extend him, I'm honestly fine with it because he can play second and first. We don't have a first baseman besides Torkelson, and he won't be ready opening day next year. And then even after Torkelson's ready, if you want to slide Scopey back over to second, we have no second baseman in this organization. We have no middle infield, period.
that's Zach Short.
So, yeah, Zach Short's a great future utility guy, but Zach Short is never going to be like everyday starter.
What are the Tigers' plans? Are they still trying to push Torque at third? Because then you can move Candelario to first. Like, is that? I mean, is it? Are they still trying to push that, or are they sort of maybe letting him be a first baseman?
No, so it's honestly been a pretty healthy mix of both. It's kind of like instead of playing first base 6 games in a row and then getting a day off, he like plays first base 5 days in a row and then his day off is when he plays first. Like that's more. So he's playing a decent amount of both, but yeah, fair. But he's actually looked like solid there. He's The range is a thing, but like he's like sure gloved there. He's fine. He's athletic enough to play there for sure.
Got it.
Scope fine. What I don't want is us to have not traded him and then let him walk. I think that would be ridiculously stupid. So I'm okay with extending him because it gives us right side of the infield depth for the next however long you extend him for. That's fine. He's not going to be that expensive. I'm totally cool with it. But I also would have been more than okay with a trade as well. I just don't want him to let us walk. And then the only other person that was rumored was Jose Cisnero, who's like, in my opinion, our second best reliever. But some people don't like Gregory Soto because he has massive command problems. So in other people's opinion, the best reliever. Yeah, all-star baby. And Cisnero has 2.5 years of control and has been unreal this year, was almost our all-star representative, and was really good last year, too. He's been really good ever since he put on a Tigers uniform. He has 2.5 years of control. The thing is, he's 32 with 2.5 years of control, not like 25. So the Tigers just said, I know for a fact we got calls about him. And the front office just said, I think the value probably makes more sense to just let him ride out his years of control remaining here and not move him. And I'm fine with that, too. He's, like I said, having an actual back end of a bullpen that I can somewhat rely on is a feeling I haven't felt in
Bless you.
like 15 years. So, like, I'm cool with it. So, yeah, like, it's just, we're not, our roster is not very talented, so we didn't have very many people to move. And that's really all there is to it. So, yeah.
Oh, my
We'll
goodness.
end up getting a decent...
So, he's got a runner on from a drop third strike, but Shane McClanahan has 5 strikeouts already, and we're not through the second inning.
Nice.
That's nuts.
McClanahan's nasty.
His slider fastball. This is like he's a good player. Don't get me wrong, but he's like the perfect guy to put on like pitching ninja tweets for likes because his like fastball slider overlay it's like Michelangelo level beautiful.
Yeah, he's definitely a Rays pitcher.
Undoubtedly,
Oh, yeah.
a Rays
A
pitcher.
big Rays guy.
G-Man.
G-Man, baby.
G-Man choice sighting.
Man, that entire upper deck is empty. Completely empty.
Completely.
Yeah. Probably didn't sell tickets up there, honestly.
I
might
hope
not. They
not.
might do like what the Coliseum does.
Yeah.
Yeah, woof.
So yeah, that's like we didn't do anything. I didn't really expect us to do anything. We don't have a very talented roster. No one wants what we have. So that's like pretty much it. So okay, I feel like
Royals next.
Rudy, do you want to go? Royals?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a good idea. I would say
Yeah.
Rudy Cubs deserves like the nice eulogy proper
He's into it.
like death of a statesman type
sure.
like Capitol
So,
Rotunda closure.
The Royals
Yeah,
was
or-
kind of there was some
Quite-
I mean that kind of
I
surprised.
was
me.
kind of surprised.
A little bit
Yeah.
similar to the Tigers, actually. So the 2 trades the Royals made, where they traded Danny Duffy to the Dodgers,
For a
player to be named later, and Duffy's on the IL right now. So the idea there is the quality of the player to be named later will be agreed upon based on how much Duffy actually plays for the Dodgers, how much how many starts or whatever he gets in. This is last year on his contract and all. And then Jorge Soler, also on an expiring contract, was traded to the Braves for, I do not remember the pitcher's name, but it's a low, or maybe high A, but a relief pitcher only, maybe like mid-20s level system prospect in Atlanta. Decent stuff, big guy, throws hard. Kind of questions about whether his stuff has been fading this season or whether, the Braves didn't really see a future for him. Kind of makes sense, all things considered, when they're trading for a horrible outfield defender who is also not hitting well this year in hopes that he might have something for the last couple months of the season. Really, it makes a good amount of sense, and I don't think the Royals kept any of Soler's contract either, so really it's nice that they got a player back and there's at least something there. And similar to a couple teams, I think that the bigger deal with the Royals was who they didn't trade. Because
Merrifield.
Merrifield was the big one, and then they also have Mike Minor and Carlos Santana. Minor's got like a 5 ERA, so you can easily argue that they probably weren't blown away by offers for him anyway. But Santana's been doing well, and there were definitely teams, including this Boston team we're watching right now that we're in the market for a left-handed bat and a first baseman. So Santana's a switch hitter, but, fits the bill for the most part.
Better, if anything.
Yeah. And so, yeah, I mean, Dayton Moore pretty much said we're not trading anyone that is under contract for 2022 because for some reason that still seems to be a season where he thinks the Royals have the ability to compete. It's hard to see that at this point. I mean, the pitching prospects are making strides, but if anything, Brady Singer's taken a step back compared to last year. Same is true for Brad Keller. And, coming out of 2020, that was one of the most promising things that made you think, well, maybe this team can compete, was that those two guys had both had a very solid shortened season. So seeing steps back from those two has been a little bit discouraging. Mike Minor, who they didn't trade, like I said, is under contract for a good amount of money next year, and I believe also 2023, and he's not blowing anyone away right now. I mean, it's a little confusing. Especially in a seller's market, I think they would have been able to do pretty well trading Santana and Merrifield. And in addition, those three guys, Merrifield, Santana, and Minor, are next year going to be, I believe, 34, 35, and 37. So it's in my eyes, it's hard to back up. Especially considering how well sellers did at the deadline this year. It's hard to look at that and say, we could not have made ourselves a better team for 2023 by trading these guys away than we will be by having kept them. And I think 2023 should have been the goal, even if 2022 is the year that is being, publicly stated. So
the Bobby Witt Jr. arrival year, as it were.
He might. I mean, he could show up. He's in AAA right now. If they wanted to, he could show up in September this year. But I still don't think that him, and even if Nick Pratto comes along too, I don't think that that's gonna turn the tides enough next year. I really don't. I mean, there's no reason to believe the White Sox are going to be any worse next year, and they're running away with the division now. So even if the Twins are rough, and even if Cleveland takes a step back, I mean, they're in fourth or fifth now, and they really don't have much of a path to.
Watch yourself.
Scott's got the ear ready. What about the other team? Sorry, what was the fifth team? There's a fifth team in that division that has some promise this year, if I remember. I can't
exactly, and it's like shoot, the Tigers
Erie
could.
Seawolves, was it?
The Tigers.
Yeah,
I mean, they could jump in the mix just as easily as the Royals could at this point. So, yeah, it's tough.
Only 6 games under 500 Detroit Tigers.
Exactly.
I was gonna say, I'm like. They could,
3 straight months of over 500 baseball.
So,
Detroit Tigers.
Wow.
The Detroit Tigers, who I think got 500 this season.
And it's funny too because if the Royals really wanted to tie themselves to aging contracts,
4th place. Oh.
I was pretty interested in. There were rumors that the Padres wanted to get to dump Hosmer's contract, and they were willing to deal Robert Hassel with it.
Bring him home.
I thought that would be a deal the Royals would be all over. I'm not going to lie to you. Because they didn't even get outbid for Hosmer by that much. And to get him and to get a fantastic prospect along with him, I'm
bringing him home,
surprised it didn't happen. Yeah.
Robert Hassel's really good, too. He was one of my favorite prep bats when he got drafted. I think that he's really, really solid.
So I could have been a lot more impressed by the Royals at the deadline. It's certainly within the realm of possibility that Santana's an important piece next year, that Minor's an important piece next year, that Witt's an important piece next year, and that all the prospects come together in the right way to make the Royals a good team. It's very, very unlikely that they're anything more than just a good team, a pretty good team next year. And because that's the case, and because the market was so good for selling teams, I really think it's, again, a failure that they didn't sell.
You guys remember when the Royals were in first place in baseball for 2 weeks at the beginning of the season?
Yeah,
I do.
Dayton Moore remembers, and he won't let anyone forget.
Petrus Farm remembers.
Yeah.
So, I think that there must have been some sort of R.L. Stein level catastrophic fog over the entire state of Missouri on
Yeah.
trade deadline
So-
day. Um, I have never in my life more desperately wanted to travel to my nearest department store that sells bow ties and, like, in a matter of protest, light them on fire. I talked about this last Sunday, how
Yeah.
my frustration with the St. Louis Cardinals organization is that they will do just enough so that it seems like they're doing something that that fans can look at and go, yes, that's the right move. We discussed it internally at Diamond Digest, talking about how going out and acquiring guys that allows Johan Oviedo, that allows Jake Woodford, two guys who I think they're honestly probably both 5 starters in an ideal situation, but one of them is going to be our 4 starter probably next year, if I'm being honest. And
Oh,
I understand the logic in doing that. However, we decided to trade away. I'd like to give a fun fact for people that don't have extensive knowledge of the Cardinals farm system. Lane Thomas was a top 10 Cardinals prospect just 2 years ago. And in 2019, the last time we had like a really full normal season, his cup of coffee saw him hit like 300 and OPS over 1,000 and have like I want to say like a 180 OPS plus. It was like 80 plate appearances. It was like spot starts at the end of the year. But that was a team, like, he contributed to a September run to win us a division, like, did all that stuff. And we traded him for someone who I believe is thoroughly universally disliked in our own fan base. Like, it's not even like John Lester will sell tickets. Like, it's not like
prevent tickets from being sold.
I'm not kidding, because, like, it'd be one thing if we went out and traded for, like, I don't even know who. Like, if, like, Max Scherzer in, like, 3 years when he's bad, like, that would sell tickets because he went to Mizzou and, like, you know what I mean? Like, that, like, that's something that I can, and just, I'm so angry at the front office for doing this. Like, J.A. Happ is terrible. John Lester is terrible. Like, and the worst part about this is that back in June, when we lost 4 starting pitchers in the span of in 2.5 weeks, that's when we should have traded for these guys. Because we could have given up even less. We gave up nothing for J.A. Happ, but, like, we could have given up even less. And to do this now at a time in which, like, it's too little too late. And, like, we were in on Kyle Gibson. And, I mean, like, shout out to the Texas Rangers for, you know, getting that sweet, sweet overpay. But, like, woof. It just sucks. It sucks. And I told you, it's going to happen. You're like, oh, Scott's, like, pumped. And I agree with you, Diego. Tigers could finish, like, 500 at the end of the year. And that'd be great. The Cardinals are going to finish with, like, 3 more wins. And we added Nolan Arenado and $50 million this offseason. Like, we gave up Colton Wong for Nolan Arenado and $50 million. And we are 500. We split with Minnesota. We lost 7-1 to them yesterday.
They stink.
They're a bad team. Like, this schedule does us so many favors. Like, we have an insanely favorable schedule in the month of August, and, like, we're going to fumble that bag too. And then, inexplicably, we're going to win 60% of our games in September and finish with 84 or 85 wins. Like, I almost guarantee that's what's going to happen. Like, Tommy Edman is going to OPS, like, 950. Like, some other garbage is going to happen. And then
Matt Carpenter's going to remember how to hit.
Oh, Lord in heaven.
We're gonna get 2019 second half Matty Carpenter.
Dude, if you want, do you want a great stat for you all?
No.
Nolan Arenado has 27 doubles on the year, and Matt Carpenter has 29 hits. And one of those players is being paid by the St. Louis Cardinals $18.5 million, and the other one is being paid $0. Who's player A and who's player B? I'll give you a hint. Nolan Arenado is playing for free. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing, and like Mike Schilt, who I think is a good manager, like might get scapegoated for this. It won't happen this offseason, but it could happen next offseason. And the ownership group needs to realize that John Mozeliak is an insanely good scouting director who is so convinced that he is such a good scouting director, and he has the resume to prove it, that he refuses to part with guys to acquire major league talent. He has shown to do this year in and year out, and it's excusable when he got promoted. We had Albert Pujols on the roster. We had, actually good Yadier Molina, Cy Young candidate Adam Wainwright. Like, we had all of these guys on the team that made it so that him giving good Lord, like Daniel Descalso more playing time than Colton Wong, like that seemed okay. And now it's starting to show. And I hope that this Cardinals organization, I saw a picture today of of Big Mac land in left field, 75% empty on Saturday night in Busch Stadium. That is, I can't use the F word. That is effing embarrassing, and that's disgraceful. It really is. It's disgraceful. And woof is all I have to say at this team.
Woof.
And Rudy, I will pass my large bowl of sour grapes.
Wait, can I get one question?
Sure, go ahead.
John Lester's a Cardinal. Thoughts?
John Lester, this is what I'm talking about. There's 2 months left in the season. And I said, Tommy Edman's going to OPS 950. I swear to effing God, I'm going to watch John Lester go 7-2 with a 2.9 ERA. It's just going to happen because it's the Cardinals, and we find a way to make this fan base just happy enough. I swear. Either that or it'll be J.A. Happ. Or Miles Michaelis will become all-star Miles. It's something that, just objectively shouldn't happen that will. And, and at his press conference today, he was, nipping really hard, and it was super uncomfortable. There was just so much. There's so much. That's how you know it's truly a state of, just distraught with me, and that, even the smallest things are just,
Yeah, my thoughts on John Lester being a Cardinal are, who is actually legitimately happy
no
with
one.
John
I
Lester?
don't
Not
think
even
he-
John
Nobody.
Lester.
He looked like, oh Lord,
Nobody.
He should have just pulled a flurry and threatened to retire. Honestly,
He
Yeah.
just retired.
Yeah.
yes. I honestly
Yeah.
I don't.
So,
Ugh.
I think the people happiest with John Lester being a Cardinal right now are Nationals fans, and it's because John Lester is no longer a National.
Yeah.
And and Lane Thomas contributes to their wonderful clubhouse organization of terrible political opinions. So, really, really, really improving the Nationals clubhouse cohesion. You guys can do that research on your own time for Lane Thomas.
So I think that only leaves one team left, Rudy.
Does that?
Do we play taps?
No,
Like,
seriously,
how
I
does this
do.
work?
Hey, I want to preface this very quickly. I am very happy that the Cardinals fan base treated that news the way that it should be, and that honest to God, it was very sad and genuinely, it was very heartbreaking and very upsetting. There was no dancing on graves in this. That sucks that they had to do that like that. There was no slow calm down. They just, in the street, back of the head, and that wasn't right. And Rudy, genuinely, just know that there is no there's no smile behind the hand or anything. I genuinely, I'm sorry.
Tough.
So, Carson, I know you just said we don't swear on here. I'm gonna give myself one.
Wait, before you start, hold on.
VOD.
Yeah, there it is. Yep. As on TV, they show the Chris Bryant.
Oh my!
Literally, as we do this, Chris Bryant homers for the Giants.
Okay, I'm dead. All right,
See,
Rudy?
so now that I've announced I'm gonna say it, I'm trying to figure out how I want to use it.
Use it well. Use it well. You deserve it.
You get one. You got to make sure you use it in the right spot for sure.
I think.
Yeah.
No, you know what? I can't. It's simply I have to be as straight up with it as I can.
Sorry, we just got some internal news that made me chuckle. Rudy, I apologize. Go ahead.
Fuck Tom Ricketts.
Yeah, baby.
Hey, I'm gonna clap not too close to the mic. Hey,
Yeah,
owners stink. Owners stink.
Go.
Absolutely horrible.
Abolish balding
That's
white
an
men.
all-time clip, by the way.
Abolish
If
balding
someone-
white men in the higher ups of any MLB organization, and this game will improve tenfold. That's all I'll say.
that little snippet, that'd be fantastic.
So yeah, I mean it's abhorrent, really, that the Cubs got to the point where that was necessary. And you know, I had a pretty good point made to me, which was, you know, at this point it has been this core was around for the last 3 years without a playoff win. And obviously they're good players, and that was, you know, reflected in the value of the trades that they went in. But for some reason they weren't winning. And that's correct. That being said, it doesn't necessarily mean that change had to be coming. And part of the biggest reason for that, and part of the reason why Ricketts is absolutely at fault, you know, it's not like, oh, the players weren't doing that well, so it's fine. Like, you know, what could Ricketts have done? Well, you know, when the team got hot, it was, we need a great starting pitcher. They just traded one away before the season even started. One of the best pitchers in baseball. And even if they had Darvish, they would have had about $35 million in space under the luxury tax threshold to work with to improve this team. And
Wow.
they had an incredible bullpen and a starting pitching rotation that was pretty good. I mean, no, they didn't have great results, but they had Kyle Hendricks, who since a couple of poor outings to start the year has been Kyle Hendricks. They have Albert Alzolay, who's shown a lot of promise. Like I said, a lot of the young guys have done really well. And if you add Darvish to that, you've got 3/5 at least of a solid rotation. So now you go sign a real starting pitcher instead of pleasing the fans by bringing back Jake Arrieta, and you've got yourself a good rotation. And, you know, maybe Darvish and another starting pitcher are $40 million of the roughly $60 million in cap space they actually had to start the year. That still leaves you $20 million to get another outfielder. I mean, you can argue, I think it's okay to say that maybe Schwarber was, you know, it's not fair to him necessarily to say that he was kind of the scapegoat of the offense, but maybe it was fine to let him walk and bring someone else in. Maybe that someone else shouldn't have been Jock Peterson. Maybe it could have been someone else. But there were a lot of ways.
At the time, it seemed fine.
There were a lot of ways it didn't have to get to this point.
It's true.
Yeah.
And so it is an utter failure that it did. And I don't know how Tom Ricketts can look himself in the mirror and write up a statement thanking the players that were just traded away as a result of his ignorance, and put that out in earnest to the fans of his team and the people that fill his pockets, and will continue to do so, because now he's spending like barely half. If I had to guess, I haven't looked. Now he's spending like barely half of the luxury tax maximum as an owner of one of the probably 10 most valuable franchises in North American sports.
Yeah. I'd
that-
say so.
I'd say
They
that's
have
in there.
their national brand is huge.
I'd say he's definitely in that combo at least. Yeah.
He is a man that has profited immensely off the success of a team that was brought about by players that he failed to supplement. The last major move that he really made to support this core was trading for Yu Darvish. And it's just deplorable. I mean, I don't know. It's still...
He's got words.
I mean, we've known for the longest time he's a deplorable human being, but he used to put that aside for baseball, and
Yeah.
now they're starting to run together.
Yeah.
Like it's almost unfathomable to me. I have not yet had the time to watch a Cubs game since all of these players have been traded away. But they've all, I mean, like you said, they all homered. All three of Bryant, Rizzo, and Baez. They all homered in their first game with their new teams. And it's just, the conversation for the last 2 years maybe has been, well, which of the three do they keep?
We've had that conversation on
We've had this conversation here for
yeah.
all
season.
season.
Yeah.
How
is it 0?
there's no excuse. There's absolutely no excuse that it's none of them. Maybe they extend Contreras. If they don't extend Contreras, it's truly incredible that they've pretty much let an entire core walk. And I don't know. But that being said, it's at least a little bit easier to stomach by the fact that Jed Hoyer has now, this was his first real steps he's taken, aside from the Darvish trade. This was the first real moves he's made without Theo Epstein, and he did an incredible job. I mean, if you take out the Cubs' top 100 prospects that they had before this deadline, just adding the guys they got in return for all of their trade deadline deals, they're a top 15 farm system in baseball already.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, as it should be. You're trading away, trading away 3 All-Stars, and one of them was won an MVP.
So, yeah, Jed Hoyer did an incredible job. But it's just, I don't know. And it's you include Kimbrel in the same boat. I don't know that's
I don't know.
Like, that was a good trade too. But as far as just how much of an ownership level failure this was, it's amazing. And so if the Cubs don't immediately turn around, like, this has to be the end of the team becoming worse at the major league level. If they don't immediately turn around and start trying to be better at the major league level, then there is no excuse for the ownership. Absolutely none. There's zero, I mean, like I just said, there's zero reason that this team shouldn't be running a top 5 payroll in baseball every single year. And they should be doing it in a smart way. Obviously, they shouldn't just be throwing money out there.
Oh, they should. They could throw money out there. Like,
exactly.
Let them spend recklessly as a fellow division rival. Like,
Well,
I think Javier
yes and
is
no.
worth $300 million. Like, pay it up, maybe.
So, like, in earnest, if any of those 3, Baez, Rizzo, Bryant, if any of them hit the open market this winter, and the Cubs don't make a legitimate effort to sign them, that makes this even worse.
For sure.
I think Rizzo hits the market. Baez. I don't think Bryant's going to hit the market. I honestly don't.
I don't think so either. I think he stays for sure.
Yeah. Which,
I think at least Rizzo. I'm not sure about Baez.
Baez, I can almost guarantee you will hit the market.
Is hitting the open
because
market.
he wants to play shortstop somewhere. Like, he loves
Right.
Lindor, but like
there's
being friends, and then there's playing the position that you want to play.
Right, and he deserves absolutely the opportunity to play shortstop somewhere because he is a top 5 defensive shortstop.
Incredible.
He is good defensively. Yeah.
So, yeah, I had a thought and it escaped me. But sure, you want to build the next great Cubs team. That's fair, and these trades very well could be the difference between a good team and a great team. I mean, they added some very legitimate prospects. Even, we're talking about the Giants deal didn't end up getting the Cubs Joey Bart, but the guys they got from that look great and are recently,
they should be good
in stock.
They should be good
prospects. They even added at the major league level, which is a promising sign.
Everyone keeps forgetting to mention that. Like Nick Madrigal.
Yeah, Nick Madrigal.
Oh yeah, Nick Madrigal.
Underrated acquisition because now I don't have to see White Sox Twitters scream about him every 8 seconds.
Well,
swing and a drive.
Goodbye baseball. See you later, Brandon Lau.
Brandon Lau. Hey,
Brandon Lau.
I have been talking about Brandon Lau for like a month.
Can I do this again? Man, I can't mute him again.
I'm talking about Brandon Lau and you're gonna mute me?
I was
really?
Curious.
That's the line we're drawing? I'm sorry. I'm talking about a relevant on-field play that just happened for a player in the game.
I know.
He goes, can I do this? Oh yeah.
Oh, Lordy.
I was kind of curious. Anyway, yeah, Brandon Lau. Carson,
I do. I love Brandon Lau. He is criminally underrated, and I hope that he does not fall victim to the Rays' consistent desire to platoon every single player that they've ever had ever, because he is unbelievably solid. And his first couple months were not great, but he's getting hot in a hurry, and I thoroughly enjoy it.
Brandon
Absolutely
Lau.
cranked that too, man. That was a no doubter.
I mean, it barely went over the yellow, but yeah.
I mean, it's 105 off the bat, man. That's a homer.
It went 361 feet.
Yeah, okay.
It was a line drive.
hey, routine pop fly in Comerica. We get it,
Routine
Scott.
fly.
But
I mean, I wouldn't call that a pop fly. I'd call that a line drive, but
Routine flat of
barely, no, Diego barely makes it out of the infield in Comerica. All right.
that's
So-
right to the pitcher in Comerica. I mean,
back to Rudy.
Back to the
yeah.
The thing that, like, the Bryant trade, and you kind of touched on it, that the Bryant trade didn't really surprise me. The Baez trade didn't really surprise me. Kimbrel was very obvious, and also the Kimbrel return was unreal. By the way,
Yeah.
That was
that's a
Sox are
fantastic return. I am still floored that Anthony Rizzo is not.
me too. That one
I
hurt
am
me.
floored.
Well, the fact that he
that
came
Anthony-
first,
and not that he's not a Cub, right? Not only is he not a Cub, he was the first to go. I was shocked at the moment, and I still am just as shocked that of all of them, that Anthony Rizzo is not a Cub. That is mind-boggling to me.
There were some Twitter and TikTok edits with like Rizzo and stuff, and just whoa, like that's the one that killed me. I always thought it would be Bryant would price himself out of getting re-signed, and that
Which he-
Baez would chase a huge bag, and some team would overpay, and that Rizzo would, like, I don't know, like Rizzo felt like an Evan Longoria type guy, like a guy that was like, I want to
it's
play
currently
here.
not on the original team.
No, but like, because he got traded though, but he still signed like that big that he like took a discount and signed that long extension to help Tampa, and like Rizzo just seemed like that guy, and he seemed willing, and like he was just so ingrained in the community,
yeah.
like more than the other guys were, and
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
really thought he was. I thought of all of them, Rizzo. I thought Rizzo was a Cub for life, man, for real.
which is hilarious because he debuted as a Padre.
Yeah.
That's like my favorite.
That's
Yeah.
the funniest thing.
He feels like a career Cub, but then you always forget that like
and drafted by the
wasn't.
Red Sox.
Yeah.
he's got that little cup of coffee with San Diego.
But yeah, that was, and it's funny. Here's what I was gonna say. I remembered is that, you're talking about whether I might still be in denial, and the funny thing is, I think I actually am, and every step of the way I've been in denial, really, that this is the way that this could go down, and it's funny because even. It's almost seemed like a guarantee that Bryant's been gone since last fall.
Yeah, probably.
His first big down year was the first year where I kind of thought maybe not, because like it was shoulder stuff, right? Like I know it's been knick-knack stuff all over him, but like that first time I was like, that could be something that scares the Cubs away long term.
Well, so it's funny because he was the last one dealt, right? Everyone else was dealt before Bryant was. And we were on the Twitter space, and I didn't say it, but I still had that thought in my head of maybe they do keep him, and maybe they've got an extension. And
This is making me sad, man.
there's just that, I think, that hope that everyone had that this wouldn't be the reality.
Mm-hmm.
And it's...
Well, that's the thing. It doesn't. That's the thing. It doesn't have to be. It does not have to be. And this is a situation, and this is a set of circumstances that every single owner in Major League Baseball could fix if they actually were fans of the game and cared about the on-field product that they were putting out.
Yeah.
They could have kept all three of those guys. It's the exact same point that you're talking about. They've got tens of millions of dollars in the luxury tax.
Mm-hmm.
And and you're talking about like, oh, the Cubs are like top 10 in North American sports. Like, I get to, the Cardinals get to have their special little small market BS privileges that we shouldn't really have, because if you look at the Forbes list of the most valuable teams in all of baseball, we're right behind the Cubs.
Mm-hmm.
And the Cubs and the Cardinals.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes, the Cardinals are like the 5th or 6th most valuable team in all of baseball.
Yep.
Really?
Yep.
We are worth like twice as much as the White Sox. Like me,
That
almost.
doesn't surprise me. But
Like, I mean, I can pull up the list, but like,
can you please? I'm just curious. Without
yeah, no, like
Yeah.
it's bananas how valuable the Cardinals are and how little we have spent money for forever.
So yeah, that's my point, and it's it's really like all these teams need to spend money, but for me, and I think for like every Cubs fan, I feel like that's pretty just a little representative, anecdote of the fact that there was always that hope and always that faith in the organization, and Tom Ricketts took that, ripped it apart, threw it on the ground, stomped on it, and then peed on it.
He did.
Diego, we are tied
unreal.
for the 6th most valuable franchise in Major League Baseball with the New York Mets.
behind who? Who are the top 5?
Yankees,
Top five.
Cubs, Red Sox, Giants, Dodgers. Not in that order. That's just those 5. I closed the tab.
Okay, I was
But
gonna
know
say
it's
I'm like that's a weird order.
It's I believe it's probably Yankees, Dodgers. I know the Giants are 5th, and then the Cubs are in 4th. So if I had to guess, I'd go Yankees, Dodgers, Red Sox.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Cubs,
when you
Giants,
said that.
Cardinals, Mets.
Yankees are easy one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was gonna say when you said that, I was shocked the Cubs are more valuable than the Red Sox, and they're not.
I don't know literally any of these people.
So
Just kidding.
So there is a trivia, real quick.
I
we
missed the last
intervene here.
one. Yeah.
Identify the. Okay, it says pitcher, but Quentin Berry is not a pitcher. Identify the player that did/has not played for all 3 of the Tigers, Red Sox, and Rays, and it's David Price, who Carson apparently doesn't know.
No,
I
I
Nomo.
saw David. Yeah, I know
Carson
Nomo as
also
well.
apparently doesn't
Wow,
know.
it's crazy you don't know who Quentin Berry
No,
is.
I know. I don't know who Quentin Berry or Erasmo Ramirez
Okay,
are.
that's really sad. Quentin Berry. is
Oh
like-
yeah, Quentin Berry, Tigers legend.
Yeah, he is actually. He won the entire country tacos, and you disrespect him like that. And then Erasmo Ramirez.
Man.
Absurd.
But yeah, so Diego, that goes to the absurdity of what Rudy and I were talking about. Of the St. Louis Cardinals are as valuable as the Mets, by the way, and
Yeah.
we are, I believe, maybe 11th in payroll, 12th, because we're not paying Arenado's salary. Actually, so we might be even lower than that. We consistently have a league average payroll, and we try to masquerade like we're not an insane. Because Diego, do you want to know what it is? This is why I complain about the Cardinals, like the mediocrity of spending with them. KMOX, the Cardinals radio station, is broadcast to the entirety of I don't know how to describe this area of the country because it's not the Southeast and it's not the South, like the South Great Plains. Like the Cardinals are the most popular team in Oklahoma, Arkansas.
Oh, whoa, heyo.
Oh, fake Mike Trout.
Oh, swing and a drive for Walmart Mike Trout, baby.
Oh, gone out of here. Goodbye baseball. 1-4 off the
That
bat.
was-
426.
Correct.
Dead center.
It is a home run anywhere.
Yep.
Home
Smacked.
run in America.
That is a home run in dead center of America.
Man, that was a shot. Man,
These Rays hats are so clean.
the Devil Rays.
On a high fastball too, above the zone, and he cranked it.
How fast was that? I gotta pull up Savant. I don't have Savant.
104.
Oh no, I don't know how fast the pitch was.
Oh.
Pitch was
97.
Okay, yeah, because that's gotta be a fast pitch to go out that quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Physics.
But yeah,
Physics.
Nice.
Diego, that is part of my frustration. Is the Cardinals have a massive media market that of the part of the country people don't care about, so
Right.
they're sneakily an insanely valuable team. But yet we get competitive balance picks occasionally.
Fair.
Totally fair, dude. We're just like Oakland or Miami. We're just a little old. We're the
It's
little
funny.
gateway. We're the gateway to the
Oakland-
West. We're worth $2.5 billion though. Casual.
Oakland's not as small as a market as a lot of people make it seem. It's really
Yeah, 'cause
not.
it's Cali.
Yeah, because so the Giants and Oakland both have pretty much all of Northern and Central California on lock as far as fans go, which is a lot of people. And it's 50-50, Oakland, San Francisco, up there. And everyone likes the Oakland's a super small market. The city of Oakland itself is small compared to, or the market's small compared to the Giants.
Mhm.
Oakland's just cheap. That's literally all it is. They're not actually a small market team.
Yeah.
Sad.
So, quick shout out to Dominic in Twitch chat. We are not on Zoom or Google Meets. We do this through Skype. So, no, we can't have anyone join in on the call here. When we do have Twitter Spaces, feel free to join those, and you can request to talk for those. And we'd love to have you, talk to you, hear your questions, all that. And yeah, for now, if anything you want to say in chat, feel free. We'll talk to you, talk about it. But for these streams, we do only have ourselves on screen. That's
and we have like our regular Twitter Spaces. We have our Moan Spaces. I mean, all of our Twitch proceeds go to our monthly Moan Space potluck. So bring your A game.
Yes. Bro, Dookie's cleats are hard today.
Oh, the green?
Oh, those are so sick.
Those are, yeah.
I'm a fan.
Hilarious that he has the 99 chain, though, because if he ever gets traded, that's why I'd never get a chain with my number on it if I was a player. Because, like, that can get changed at any time.
Oh,
like,
that was the other thing?
How weird that is. Yeah, I was about the Cubs.
The Cubs.
It's so weird.
Bryant and Bias have the same number
None of them got their number.
Bryant and Bias have the same number now.
Yep.
Also, I'll give a brief complaint. The Yankees need to stop with their Mickey Mouse number retirement. Okay? The reason
I'm glad Gallo's wearing 13.
Oh, so am I. A-Rod can choke. There's a reason y'all are watching us tonight, all right? So, I looked this up because at first I was like, why did the Yankees retired 44? And I didn't want to get caught, like, I know it was going to be like Lou Gehrig, but I didn't want to get caught, like, naming someone, like, ungodly famous. And it was Reggie Jackson. And in my head I was like, I always kind of see Reggie Jackson as more of like, you know, like he was on the A's for forever. Like, I thought he only played, like, he had, like, the crazy October run. But I thought that was, like, a rental. And I looked it up. He played on the Yankees for 5 years.
Yeah.
And he was an all-star every year, but like no MVPs, no extracurricular awards, like, and I'm like, really? We retired his number for that?
He was, yeah. I mean, like, he was a huge deal
Cubs,
there.
Yeah, but like, are the Cubs gonna retire Jake Arrieta's number? Like,
I think that's disrespectful on Reggie.
He was good
you
for
didn't
5
even pick
years.
the best current, like. Not so
I don't know. I get it. Like, I get if you're just going off numbers, like, it is but like, he was a god there for his 5, like a literal god.
I'm not slandering Reggie. I love Reggie Jackson. I think I'm slandering the Yankees for retiring a number for a guy that's silly. It's like the Cardinals recently retired Ted Simmons' number, and like, Ted Simmons, great ball player, great Cardinal, you know, gave his heart to the city and all that. We shouldn't retire his number. You have to play for us for like 95% of your career, in my opinion, to get a number retirement. I think that's fair. Like, that, it's cheap because eventually you're gonna have guys like, in the Yankees there's a chance in our lifetime a Yankee's gonna wear like 100, because you know, we're just giving it out left and right. Like, if Joey Gallo, let's say Joey Gallo signs a 5-year contract with the Yankees and he plays in 5 All-Star games and they win 1 World Series. Like, is 13 getting retired
and he
for
wears
Joey Gallo?
13 the whole time, then what do you do? You retire
Yeah,
for both
like,
of
do you
them?
retire it for Joey Gallo? I think not.
Well, it's interesting then, like, do we get to the point where, and it would probably be the Yankees, do we get to the point where teams unretire a number?
Yes. No, you know what I think Major League Baseball will do? Major League Baseball will
retire every number but 42.
I was about to say, they're either going to do that or they will.
That was a joke.
Oh no, they might though. They might be like you can say that this player will wear this number in honor of, and make sure it's only like your all-stars and best players. Like, I see that happening, but
well, you can't really say like you have less than 2.3 5 wore, so you can't wear number 44
No,
because
no,
Reggie
do it.
Jackson wore it.
No, do it.
Like,
Do
but
that. That's
what's
totally fair.
What's the threat? Like, how do you earn it though? Is my question.
So
yeah,
you're
is there
either
a certain threshold
so-
to meet? Or...
yeah, you have to have a similar player comp. So like when the Cardinals get a very old overrated catcher who will luck his way into the Hall of Fame, he can also wear number 4. But until then, no one else can wear 4. Like that's the precedent we're setting. Like no Cardinal should wear number 5 again unless Dylan Carlson starts hitting 330 and cranking 35 a year. No one's wearing 5. Like
But then so in your theory, then people would have to wear 2 like.
No, they would just wear their regular. They would be given the number.
No, I know, but you couldn't.
You couldn't
saying
start with one of those numbers. You'd
ever
have to earn it.
one number their entire career then.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess.
Like
But
no,
unless
no one would be allowed.
well, I don't know though. Like if maybe they'd give a number 1 prospect has a similar player comp that number. I don't know. I just think that the Yankees are a criminal offender of over-retiring numbers, and a dude that played for your team for 5 seasons should not get a number retirement.
Okay, so
Well,
I get what you're saying.
You're making me, reflect on how much importance we put on associating a player with a number.
I think we put a lot of importance.
We
on
do. Like who's number 2 in baseball? Like Derek Jeter.
Right.
Like
it, unfortunately.
overrated. Yeah, Derek Jeter. I
But
stand by my
it's,
take. Anyone watching this broadcast or on the mic right now could play 162 games at shortstop for the Yankees, and they would have less than negative 162 DRS. Anyone watching or on the mic. You'd have like negative 100.
Yeah,
but I don't think
so
you'd get negative 52.
No, yeah, I'm totally with
Be
you
tough.
though. I think it's it's got you've got to be like really like a legend for the team, I think, to get it. I
Right.
mean, like the Cubs have been around forever, and I believe they only have 4 numbers retired.
6, I thought.
6.
I'll look it up.
It's Santo, Banks, Andre
Santo,
Dawson.
Banks, Dawson, Maddox.
Did they retire
Sandberg,
Maddox?
too.
Yeah, Sandberg.
Yeah, 31. Fergie Jenkins too, right?
And Jenkins, so is 6. Yeah.
Yeah. And the Cardinals it's not the same thing. But okay, so for the Cardinals though, it's
And
like
42. Don't forget 42.
And 42.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't call that a Cardinals. I don't know. It feels silly because like the Cardinals or the Cubs didn't make that choice. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Like it feels.
I mean, they can't wear the number, so it's retired.
True.
It's retired.
Yeah, but no, yeah. that's fair.
Matthew in the chat asked, "What's the minimum
Who?
years with a team then?" Oh, sorry, an anonymous user. Scherzer 6.5 with the Nats and has to have 31 retirements. I would say that minimum requirements, at least half of your professional career, at least half if you have a championship with that team, and if you don't have a championship with that team, like 90% of your career.
Bro, this is
This
is like the most specific grind. You can spend 50% if you
I don't
want
know.
a ring. If
I'm
you
getting
haven't,
asked-
it has
I'm getting asked to provide a number right now. I'm providing a number. I'd say okay.
So
the Cardinals retired 20.
Okay, hold on.
I think we're
The Cardinals
inevitably.
retired 23 for Ted Simmons.
I think we're
Did
inevitably.
David Freese not deserve that too?
I think we're inevitably
'Cause he
headed
had
in
a
this
great
direction.
moment.
I think we're inevitably headed in this direction. So, for the sake of coming up with concrete examples, let's just go ahead and say whose numbers are getting retired of active players right now,
I'll throw
For
this
each
out
of our
there.
teams,
just in general. Like
I think-
Yachty, yes.
Miggy for sure. Miggy,
yes.
Yachty, Wainwright.
Buster.
Wainwright, you think? I don't know
Buster.
if Wainwright's number
Oh,
would get retired.
Wainwright, yes. Wainwright will get retired. He is he's beloved by the city. He's won 175 games.
Wait, I thought being beloved by the city didn't matter. Hold
No,
on.
it does. It does if you've played for forever. Reggie Jackson was beloved by the city. He wasn't part of the city. Adam Wainwright is part of St. Louis.
I mean, is Scherzer's number getting retired in DC? I'm not positive about that.
I don't think they're not. They don't. Maybe because they're not a storied franchise. So maybe yes. But Ryan Zimmerman. Speaking of numbers that'll get retired, Ryan Zimmerman's will.
Ryan Zimmerman,
Joey
yeah.
Votto's.
Joey Votto, probably, yeah.
No one on the Brewers. No one on. I don't think anyone on the Cubs.
Yeah. Probably not.
Because
I mean,
probably not. I mean, unless
Hendricks
No.
probably has the best chance at this point, and that's really not likely.
But he's not. No Cy Young or anything. They'd have to re-sign Bryant or Rizzo.
Yeah.
I think.
Even then,
Like, I don't know.
that would be like an embarrassment for the franchise long term to be like, oh, we traded away this guy and we retired his number, you know?
Yeah. Well, that takes AL Central, Miggy. Anyone else on the tie? Probably not.
Salvi.
Verlander.
Salvi.
Verlander.
I feel like Salvi's actually a pretty good candidate for a number retirement.
Yeah.
Probably Verlander? Question mark. Scott?
Yeah, like as soon as he's allowed to. Yes.
Is
him
Four
and
retired
Miggy
in Kansas City, Rudy?
What's up?
Is Four retired in Kansas City for Gordon?
Oh, for Gordon.
Not
yeah.
yet. It might be. It very well might be retired.
I would think it will be if it hasn't yet.
Yeah.
Twins, no one.
No.
White Sox, I don't see anyone on the roster yet.
Yeah, I don't know
I
if
could
they
see
got anyone. I mean,
if
Abreu maybe.
Chip retires like a 300 hitter.
I think
he didn't play
Abreu's
long
got
enough.
a better chance.
Really?
Well, he debuted super late.
That's what I'm saying. He just didn't play long enough. Like Tim Anderson will be the face of the Sox. You know what I mean?
If Tony La Russa doesn't get him out of there.
I mean, like maybe,
Yeah.
like I
Maybe,
mean, it's still so
maybe.
early
That's
on.
how, we're asking for.
Well,
we're playing
so-
hypotheticals.
and
And
this
then
is,
Royals, I
uh,
don't think anyone.
Salvi, I just said.
Oh, Salvi, and then who am I forgetting in the AL Central?
Whit Merrifield.
Tigers. We covered
Oh.
Royals, White Sox, Twins. Oh, Cleveland.
Trout.
Yeah,
What?
maybe.
Trout will get retired by Cleveland for sure.
Yeah. What?
I know.
Also-
I'm not talking Cleveland.
So I asked. Actually, that's
Trout's in
interesting.
the chat. Trout's been honestly said in
You
the
say
chat.
that about Trout, but his high school they tried to retire his number, and he like gifts it to whoever is like team captain or whatever. Maybe
Oh yeah.
he didn't want his number retired in high school. Maybe it'll be the same for the pros.
I mean, like,
I think that's different.
Maybe, but I'm just saying. I'm saying that's just something to think about. I'm just saying that's something to think about.
Yeah. I don't know. But I mean,
Ohtani if he stays for life.
if he stays as an Angel. I think
Yeah.
it's also a nuanced discussion too, because there's been talk now around this trade deadline, especially with the Cubs blowing it up, that
Yeah.
almost nobody spends his whole career with the team anymore.
Oh,
So
Altuve.
that makes-
Altuve for the Astros though.
Yeah, so that makes it a very interesting discussion of whose number gets retired. I mean, Mookie Betts should have been a surefire guy to get his number retired in Boston, and now he may not have his number retired in either of Boston or LA.
Probably won't.
Yeah, probably won't.
I've
Speaking of
been
LA,
long
speaking of
for
LA though, Clayton Kershaw is 100% getting his
absolutely.
number retired.
Yeah, Kershaw for
Absolutely.
But, like,
San
Longo
Francisco,
gets
San Francisco,
retired and
Posey, any.
Posey. That's it.
Posey maybe, but
I want
mean,
to say, is Lincecum still?
I mean,
active? Like, is
that's the thing is how many guys
Something
how many guys that played into the 2000s have even had their numbers retired? I mean, we said Maddox with the Cubs, but there's really not that many.
Bonds is retired.
Chipper Jones got his retired in Atlanta, right?
Had to have.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I would imagine.
Jeter did, Big Poppy did, Griffey did.
Oh, Jeter
Barry
did.
Bonds, I think, had it.
Jeter,
Yeah,
yeah.
Jeter's two is
I didn't-
retired.
I didn't
Dude,
know
the
if-
Yankees will
I
retire.
didn't- dude, if
No,
the
no,
Yankees,
no,
they
no.
cupcake it.
I
dude.
didn't know if it already had happened or not, or if it had been long
Oh,
enough.
yeah.
The
Same
Yankees
with-
will probably
same with
The
retire.
Yankees
Brett
also
Gardner.
technically retired 42 in the 2000s as well with Mariano Rivera.
Yeah.
On a technicality, they did retire 42.
They double retired 42.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's no one on the Yankees. No one on.
The Yankees will probably retire. Brett, not even joking about that.
Oh God, yeah, probably Mickey Mouse.
That's not even a joke.
Cupcake franchise for retiring.
There's just
them.
no way.
No, they will though.
There's
They
no
will.
way,
Does
man.
he have a ring? He's got a ring with the Yankees.
Yeah, he does
he'll
in
get his-
09,
he'll
yeah.
get
Okay,
his
they
number
haven't
up.
retired Andy Pettit's number. What are we doing here?
Yes, they have.
And
They
yeah,
did?
They retired Pettis,
Oh
dude.
my.
It's everyone. The Yankees have
It
retired
is
like
everyone.
30 numbers.
Okay.
Like Jorge Posada, I'm pretty sure
They
has
don't
his number retired.
have any single digit numbers available.
I don't think the Cardinals will after Molina
Wait, what
and
number
Knock.
does... I thought Gardner wore a single-digit number. What number does he wear?
He's 11.
Oh, okay.
They literally the only single digit number that's available
It's 0, right?
is
Capital Sports asks, who would you rather have, Ronald Acuna or Vlad Jr.? That's a great question.
Dude,
I
yeah.
think durability has very recent durability questions have made that a lot more complex because I think if you asked me a month ago, I would have said Acuna easily.
Did you guys, speaking of durability, did you guys see today that Vlad Jr. had his first rest day in like 160 team games? This was his first day off, and they taped him to the bench.
And they taped him to the bench because he's an ant. Let him out. Let him out, dude. I honestly, I'm a Vlad Jr. fanboy through and through, though. Vlad is on and off.
I'm so glad he
figured
it out.
So
me too. It's so much fun watching him hit when he knows what he's like, and he knows now, and now he knows. Also, Core 4 deserves their number retired. I don't know who that is.
That's Posada, Pettit, Jeter, Mo.
Oh, if Gardner's gets retired, I'm marching to Highbridge in the stadium and launching everything I can find in my hands onto that man's plaque.
Tell me you wouldn't be surprised if I wouldn't be surprised.
I would be disappointed, but not surprised.
I would be disappointed as well, but I just Yankees just bring constant disappointment to their fans and others.
Bryce in Philly, says an anonymous user. If Bryce stays healthy enough in Philly to get a bunch of major milestones, then they will, because he'll be there forever.
Oh, yeah.
If he stays healthy for the entire contract and plays even like remotely decently at the end, like yes. But again, that means he's gonna have to hit milestones to get his number retired in Philadelphia. Like I know he doesn't have like 2,000 hits yet, but like 2,000 hits, 2,500 hits, 3,000 hits.
And by the way, let's cool it with the MVP discussions. His WRC plus isn't even 20 points north of average this year, so.
Yeah,
his
average
J-Roy average. His 155 WRC plus is not 20 points north of average yet.
He's also been hurt, and he's on a losing. Actually, you know what? I'll pose this question because I have this philosophical debate often. I believe that there should be an additional award created by Major League Baseball, and I would like that award to be Player of the Year in comparison with MVP, because Mike Trout should have won Player of the Year every single year, but the difference, Diego, is that the guy that leads the league in WAR. I'll use a Cubs example. When Andre Dawson won the MVP in 1987, I believe.
I want to say.
6?
Let's see.
The Cubs had like the worst record in Major League Baseball, or close to. Last place team. So how valuable are you if your team still finishes in last place? Like Mike Trout should still have won MVPs in the 2010 if there was a.
Oh no, you're right. It was 97 or 87.
87. Because Mike Trout took those teams from 8 games under 500 to about 500, which put them, in a much closer position to making the playoffs and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I think that there should be a distinction made because when it comes to awards and stuff like that, like Bryce Harper could win Player of the Year, but he shouldn't win MVP because his team's not going to make the playoffs and they're going to finish with a losing record. So that... There is no right or wrong answer. I just think that would be an easier way, because then MVP discussions could be much more focused on like pre-DeGrom getting hurt, when it was like the Mets are in the thick of the playoff race. And
are we back live, Rudy?
Yes, now we are back up as of right now.
All right, so Carson doesn't think losing teams should have nice things.
I think that teams that are like blatantly terrible and had no shot at all the entire season should not have their best player rewarded with most valuable player. A last place team, in my opinion, by definition, can't have the most valuable player. Like if Adam Duvall had an 8.5 WAR season this year and they still finished last in their division, is Adam Duvall the MVP? Oh, he had a great year, but the Marlins went 72-90. Like who cares?
Yes.
He should be Player of the Year, not MVP.
He was most valuable.
But to what though? To a futile effort? Like that's my thing. I think
it's not his fault that his team.
It's not
sucks.
on him. Yeah.
But if he was that valuable, like I think
No.
I think it's generous. I think it's generous to imply that he would be that, like, he's more valuable than the person that finishes with maybe half a WAR less on a first place team.
Well, if it's a half a WAR difference, then it's not.
It's more often than not. That's what we're talking about, though, with MVP races. It's very rarely like a 3 WAR difference where it's that clear.
Well, So are you proposing that this new award would be strictly based on WAR?
I'm probably like a combination of factors, but like WAR would probably be like one of the main.
You're talking about Andre Dawson. When Andre Dawson won the MVP, he won it because he had 137 RBIs. Like that's the only reason.
Right. And so, but like, did he like what was the did he not have the highest WAR?
No. And I want to acknowledge this actually. Tony Gwynn finished 8th in voting, had more than double Andre Dawson's WAR. He hit for a slash of 370, 447, 511. Anyone want to take a stab at how many RBIs Tony Gwynn had that year?
Well, he hit leadoff, so I'd guess like 50.
Like 65.
Yeah, 54.
50.
Yeah. He had more stolen bases than RBIs as a 960 OPS hitter who put up 8.5 WAR.
So, and also though, you want to talk about that? Hold on, I'm gonna look this up real quick.
I'm so
that's
confused.
That's the thing though, Rudy. The 1987 Padres won 65 games.
Yeah.
So he should win Player of the Year. He should win Player of the Year. He was the best player, but he was on a terrible team. Do you know who I would have given MVP to that year? Probably like.
You're gonna say Ozzie Smith. You were gonna say it.
I was gonna say I'm like they did make the World Series in '87, and he probably also was like top 5 in WAR that year. If I had to guess, you have the list up. Hold
Ozzie
on.
Smith was.
Wait, what year are we talking about?
1987.
The Cardinals didn't.
Oh,
make
I
the
looked
World
up
Series, did
78.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say I know the Cardinals lost to the Twins in the World Series that year.
Oh, in '87 they did.
Yes.
Okay, gotcha.
They lost to the Royals in '85. Absolutely robbed of that, by the way. Anyone with a pair of eyeballs knows that.
Yeah, cry about it. Cry hard.
I mean, I won't. I won't because we have 11. So I'm not. That was our second of 3 that decade that we made. So Jordan Shrug meme. Where was Smith in the WAR leaderboards in '80s?
WAR,
in the NL,
like
obviously
tied for 4th, I think. Dale Murphy had 7.7. As I mentioned, Gwynn had 8.6, and then Tim Raines had 6.8, and then Ozzie Smith and Darryl Strawberry are tied at 6.4. Assuming that nobody with more WAR didn't receive a single
finished lower than 18th.
Didn't receive a single MVP vote.
Looking at this, if Terry Pendleton, the Cardinals' like 5th best player, can receive who would have had a 2.9 WAR season, can win.
Can grab a vote.
Yeah, can grab a solid vote there.
I'm still trying to wrap my head around the logic to introducing this new award.
Yeah,
I think that it would clear up a lot of the discourse surrounding MVP a lot more.
So, okay, so you want MVP? What's the new criteria for MVP?
But
that MVP should be
MVP is then way too confusing. I mean, how do you differentiate between whether a player would be considered for one or the other?
That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Players on clearly terrible teams, i.e. Dale Murphy on the 1987 Braves or Andre Dawson or like anyone like that, those are the people that are up for Player of the Year. The people that would be MVP are people that have had comparable seasons but on much better teams and played much more pivotal roles in the overall success of their team.
Okay, here's a new question. So say this new awards in baseball.
Mm-hmm.
The top 10 guys in WAR all play for horrible teams. So the difference between 1 and the difference between 11 is like a 5 WAR difference.
Okay.
You saying 11 should win MVP, not 1 through 10.
That sounds like a Rick Porcello Cy Young situation is what
It
you're
sounds
what
like
you're describing.
It's stupid, Carson.
I just think that the MVP, like, we can talk about it as a award of statistical superiority, but I think far too often MVP is an award of narrative, and to award it to a last place team that has 0 narrative the entire year it takes away from what the award could mean.
Okay, so what you're saying is you would give say the difference. So what I just brought up. One has the first best player.
What's the number though? Because if it's 15 WAR
like,
versus 10, that 10 WAR is still an unreal season.
What if I'm saying like it's 10 versus like 4 or 5?
Yeah.
You think it should go to 4 or 5?
Then I'm up the creek without a paddle, as it were.
So you're saying, okay, let's say hold on. Let me
Because
let
I
me-
mean,
let me-
like, what if you've got a guy that wins a triple crown on a really bad team? Is that not narrative?
No, that's what I'm talking about, Rudy. That is narrative.
But
But
you're
he's on a
saying
bad
that
team,
if he's
so
on a
it's not
bad
narrative.
team,
You're bringing up though like insanely specific examples. Are there concrete examples
very
in?
real.
No, they're realistic,
Check it
but
out.
have they actually happened? Like, yeah, it's realistic, but like, has that actually happened? Where
Oh,
there's
I
been
don't
that
know.
big of a
it's not. I mean,
I don't know.
no,
but it very
no.
well could.
But like
like are MLB what are like MLB Triple Crown winners? Like, I wonder, have they ever been on like a terrible team? Because like Miggy did it on a team that was a
yeah,
playoff
well, that's
team,
my thing. Is if you win a
Like-
triple crown, you're making your team a lot better by default.
right? And like more often than
Biden
not,
could
those
win
teams
the
are
Triple
playoff
Crown
teams.
This year, and his team's in fourth in his division.
They're in fourth, but they're in fourth, but they're a winning baseball team. Like it's
like, okay.
that's cherry picking a number to go. Well, they're fourth place in the division. That's like back in 2015 going. The Pirates only got third in their division. They won 97 games. Like, that's still a great team. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
there's a situation in which Toronto finishes in fourth place and they win 88 games.
I just think it's all too like. There's nowhere you can draw a line between where you should consider a guy for an MVP versus a Player of the Year.
That's fair. I guess I am wishing for something that is hard to quantify. I don't know. Like, it just, if we're already, if baseball has such a restrictive and artificial fence up about everything else, it just,
Yeah.
it's, I find it confounding that doesn't exist for awards. And then like the exact scenario that I'm talking about of like Rick Porcello winning a Cy Young happens, and then everyone goes, "Oh, look at how bad the voting is," and then nothing happens to fix it. And I just feel like maybe
Yeah.
just
Well,
adding
so
one award could maybe help that. Because like
Well, should the
DeGrom,
same thing-
there's an argument for like DeGrom winning MVP. He could just win Player of the Year, and then
well, that's what I mean.
Like,
When
if
you
the
win
Mets-
the Cy Young,
I
you
think
can win
he
the Cy
will.
Young and the Player of the Year.
Yeah, he could if they. He could, but I don't know. Zach Wheeler's been really good this year too. But that's me
guess.
arguing specifics.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, shout
I don't
out
know,
though,
I
real
mean-
quick. Speaking of Zach Wheeler, fun statistic. I think I put this in banter already, but Zach Wheeler leads all the entirety of Major League Baseball in starts in which he completes 7 full innings. Adam Wainwright is in second place, and Adam Wainwright had another quality start today. That man is pitching out of his mind.
Cool. Cool.
I want a cookie.
That's great, man.
Yeah. So
It's just
I
nuts
think it's
for his age.
well. So I think it's bold of you to assume that all the, all the voters would not like be so confused that they just like faint on the spot with like all these new awards
That's
and
fair.
distinctions
I'm
between
giving-
them.
Yeah, I am giving very old men a lot to have to work through.
Also, I think the Rays just scored?
They did.
Like, I think, okay. Just put this back
Sorry,
out.
we went down the rabbit hole. That was a nice little
Nice
hustle
little
play by
nod.
Tampa there.
I mean,
Yeah, 3-1 game now, but
going down
Yeah.
the rabbit hole is a weekly occurrence here. I don't know.
yeah, that's what we do.
Oh, dude, last week was bananas. The game was over for like 20 minutes, and we were all just like screaming about old white men, essentially.
I just think, so, in conclusion for this is all I'm going to say left on this.
It's something to think about. That's why I said I've started it with it.
I don't think it is.
You're spending a lot of time thinking about it for someone who doesn't want to.
You're not.
I'll say
Well,
that.
I'm thinking about
I'm
it
starting
because
some
I'm being
discourse.
Stubborn. Like, I get the idea, but in actuality, like, makes 0 sense, dude. Like, it's not.
Yeah, I just think it breaks down too much to be
It ain't it,
realistically.
dude. You're not that guy. Like,
You're not that guy.
You're
pal.
not that guy.
you're not that guy.
Scott, it's
There.
uncomfortable how close you sound to that guy. By the way. Also, speaking of, like a minute ago, I was saying how we were all kind of freaking out about, not freaking out, justifiably upset with the state of ownership and stuff. That SB Nation Cavs documentary did a really good job of laying out just how egregious ownership really is throughout history. I really thought that like it really was sort of like television and broadcast rights had really started to do this, but it's nice to know that these are complaints that have been made by people for half a century at least.
Yup.
True. Man.
I'm still waiting for the Kevin Kiermaier like 7 WAR season, by the way, because I'm convinced it's going to happen someday.
You're running out of
Yeah,
time.
he's running low.
He is running out of time, but like the defense is so good. Like it takes so little. You just got to stay on the field.
It's fair.
Wow, Renfro's got a cannon. What?
Yeah. He throw ball hard. Kevin Kiermaier, what's his best WAR season? Well, I'm curious.
Yeah, actually, I am too.
5. No, he had a 7 WAR season in 2015.
What?
According to Baseball Reference, that's what I'm using.
Attaboy. 2015, you said?
2015.
Yeah, that's the only time.
7.1.
That's the only time in a season he's played at least 130 games. So
7.1 WAR.
unreal. OPS plus of 99 in a 7 WAR season.
So it happened. You're right.
That's all. That's what I said. That's all it takes. He literally. What did he do in that year? OPS of 718. He needs to be a league average hitter and stay healthy, and he's insanely valuable.
That's Kevin Kiermaier, not known for his bat, but having a great
Not knowing.
having a great postseason or series. I don't know what it was.
Swing and a drive.
Yep.
Classic.
Yeah, notably not known for his bat.
Classic.
I mean, he absolutely raked in the World Series, though.
YM, Peyton.
Oh,
No.
I also typoed, but God,
TM? A
Scott.
technical machine.
TM.
Trademark.
Shout out TM29 IMO.
Damn, 29. I got it on though.
Wow,
That
dude.
was just the first good
Kiermaier
move
OPS.
I could remember.
Kiermaier OPS 1100 in the World Series last year. That's nuts.
But no, also ran up there. I know Rudy. Anyone else play Pokemon Unite? Because I'm
I played it like an
Oh, you
hour
did?
ago. Well, not an hour ago.
All
Like
right,
2 hours ago.
like.
So now you guys all know what we're gonna be doing as soon as we close the stream. We're gonna stay on the Skype call and play Pokemon Unite.
Peyton just against like that's borderline assault, making me see a picture of Brett Gardner. Don't ever make me have to look at that balding peanut man ever again.
Dog, he had a 7 WAR season?
I'm sure he did because he had Prime Jeter and A-Rod hitting behind him in the lineup. Like, I'm sure he scored like 130 runs or something ridiculous.
You know who else had a 7 WAR season? I had to go back and confirm, but it is indeed true.
Salvi Perez?
No.
I don't know. I mean,
No.
like 2014,
No.
2013, Salvador Perez was putting up some numbers, man.
So the thing is, his offense has never been as good as it is now, and his defense has pretty much never been loved all that much.
That's fair.
No, I was referring to Lorenzo Cain has a 7 WAR season.
That doesn't shock me, though, because he plays great defense and he's had some great offensive years. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
It was.
I don't know.
It was. I mean, most of the Royals team, interestingly enough, from 2014 to 15, a lot of them were not as good. But Lorenzo Cain was the man in 2015.
dang, yeah.
So anyway.
That was a fun Royals team, dude.
Back when the Royals were doing, good things. Now the Royals are keeping aging contracts.
Yeah.
2010 Brett Gardner 7 WAR season. Disgusting, frankly.
Also, I just remember this because I was saw it on the timeline. Reed Detmers made his debut today, right?
Yes, he did.
Yes,
yeah.
Oakland fans very happy with Reed Detmer's debut. I saw that on the timeline. Brother got schmacked, to put it lightly.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Sox fans
a wee bit.
spamming W over Detmer's being trash compared to Garrett.
So I was thinking earlier, the need to compare those two is just absurd in my eyes. I do not understand it.
it happens far too much on Twitter. It's just, yeah, I agree.
It's like, oh, I have to feel better about my team's exciting pitching prospect not being perfect, so I'm gonna make fun of it when your team's exciting pitching prospect isn't perfect. Like, what?
You mean both of our franchises are known historically for being terrible at player development, and both of ours aren't doing as well?
Yeah.
Haha. That's what it feels
Yeah.
like. It's two kids whose both of their ice cream cones keep falling on the ground, and they keep pointing at the other one and laughing that it fell. But in doing so and pointing, they drop their own ice cream cone. That defines Angels and White Sox fans right there. Come at me, I dare you. Oh Lord!
You just won out the two biggest, writer bases we have
Look,
in Diamond, Texas.
Look, I love Jared Walsh. All right, I love David Fletcher. Like David Fletcher's got my whole heart. All right.
Say something nice about the White Sox.
Say something nice about the White Sox.
Actually,
Their tickets to their games are rather cheap, which is nice when you want to get drunk with your friends. I will say this: guaranteed rate makes a great vodka lem. I'll say that about guaranteed rate field right now. They make a great vodka lemonade.
That's not hard to do.
Yeah, it's fresh lemonade though. They have like a squeezer, like they take and they do it right in front of you.
Slaps.
Yeah, they do it right. It's right in front of you, and you're like, all right.
I can get behind that.
Yeah. Very nice stadium staff as well. I'll say that too. Like it's a very nice like environment and stuff.
You guys employ good people.
No, they do. Like the Sox and Cubs both. Like they, being from the Chicago suburbs and stuff, and going to games at both. Like it's a very pleasant experience every time, which is like really nice. Because especially when you go and wearing like opposing teams' colors, like drunk Cubs fans are just so obnoxious. Like, and it's always like 50-year-old men.
A lot of sober Cubs fans are too. Not all.
Yeah.
But some.
Rudy, you're all right. Don't worry. Don't worry, babe. Also, shout out my dad and sister. Y'all are all right too.
I'm sure Rudy wouldn't disagree with that statement.
No, he definitely shouldn't.
Yep.
Every fan base has.
Oh, absolutely. I learned the F.
Oh, I'm sorry. Are we talking about obnoxious fan bases?
I learned the F-bomb between people fighting like 2 rows back of me at a Cubs game when I was maybe 11 or 12.
Hey, that builds character.
That.
That builds character.
That's an incredible story. That's just impeccable.
Some of the best life advice I've ever received happened at the Wrigley Field troughs, in which I had a man about 60 years old to me say, when I was about 8, said, "Don't worry." He said, "Don't worry, son. We all wish it could be bigger." And then I was walking up to the trough, and I was like, "Excuse me."
What?
It was wild.
What?
It was
That's incredible.
Rudy, great Cubs knowledge for you. Reed Johnson made a Ivy Wall like grab during that game. I also saw a Felix PA homer.
Oh,
it was a good game. That's how you know that's the era we're talking about at Cubs baseball.
Oh yeah.
I think
Worry, son.
I think it was against the Brewers. That might have been Tigers legend Prince Fielder in that game too.
Would you like Prince Fielder?
Oh yeah, yes.
I'd say I'm a rather big fan of the guy.
Yeah, the bowling pin, or not bowling, what was it? He had that celebration like he'd land on home plate and everyone would like detonate. Well, I don't know, was it bowling that he did? It was something like that.
No, he would jump on the plane and go like this, and everyone would follow.
That was a good silly. I like that one.
Yeah.
We got some new trivia though. After down years in 2019 and 2020, Red Sox pitching has resurged, but no one has improved more from 2020 in WOBA than this pitcher. Matt Barnes, Adam Ottavino, Nick Pivetta, Nathan Eovaldi.
Ooh, interesting.
Oh, I thought
no one has improved. Is it just no one has improved?
No, who has improved the most?
Oh, okay.
That's essentially the question.
I'm behind.
Are you telling me they're all bad?
I'm behind an anonymous user by 1 point. No, I just like slandering the Red Sox. It's just enjoyable.
Carson, don't tell me you picked that a no-hitter was actually going to happen tonight.
It's 1,000 points, man. It's 1,000 points.
No,
And,
it's
like,
not.
Yeah,
Last
you
week
or you
when-
take your one free point every single game.
look, I already had to swallow my pride and vote for Joey Votto on a trivia question tonight.
Oh! Is it foul? It's foul.
Oh,
wait,
my
was-
goodness.
That ball was destroyed.
Yeah.
I think walloped might be the word to use to describe that one.
Almost creamed,
Walloped.
I think that-
Absolutely cranked.
obliterated.
That was 405 feet foul.
That's a lot. That's very far. That is many feet.
Many, many feet.
Man, I forget how cheap that homer down the left field pole is in Tampa. I always
It
forget
is.
how
Yeah.
junior that fence is.
Which is interesting because I don't feel like I see very many homers hit there.
I think the most famous
Well,
homer
what's
in
a cap?
Rays history was hit there. That's where Evan Longoria hit it, like in
Oh, yeah.
2011 to send him to the playoffs. Like,
Well, yeah, that little, like, and then it just randomly, like, the camera well thing, too. That's where
Yeah.
he hit it. Oh, it's so funny.
dude, I'm gonna give a niche drop right now. Not niche, it's MLB The Show. But the MLB The Show 12 intro was so sick. For those of you that played, y'all know what
Yeah,
I'm
the
talking
comeback, the when they showed the
about.
September.
Yeah, and it was like and then oh my god, it showed all the games happening once. I remember watching that because that was like I think the first year MLB Network like dropped, and like I remember I was like, oh, what a year.
What did it do, Carson? Just one more time. What was it?
It showed the standings that like ratcheted because the Cardinals were down like 10.5, I think, and the Tampa was down like 9, and it had them like going like all the
That's
way.
why I just wanted to.
Oh, the sound effects. Sorry,
Yeah.
I thought you wanted me to do the hand motion again. I was like, yeah, just did the like,
That was good too.
yeah,
Quality stuff.
yeah. Shout out the 2011 Braves going 5-20 in September, man. That's unreal.
That's
Pretty bad.
impressive.
Yeah,
Yeah,
20-5 September from St. Louis. Remarkable stuff.
20-5. Losing or winning that many games is impressive.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
And then we got to play the absolute minor league team Astros for game 162. And Chris Carpenter, shout out, you know what? This is a rare moment. I'll shout out Tony La Russa. We won that game like 7-0, but he just pitched Carpenter the whole game no matter what. Like Chris Carpenter just like told him like, do not pull me unless we're losing. Like I'm going to go out and I'm going to like effing win this. And I respect that. Chris Carpenter's like got my whole heart for that.
All of it. The entire thing.
Most of it. Not most. He's got a little
good
sliver.
amount.
He's got a little sliver. I truly like Chris Carpenter is like, I don't know. Like just a lot of like you want to talk about like clutch postseason performers? Like people can like lambast that word all they want. I'm gonna pull up Chris Carpenter's postseason stats right now. Like just unreal stuff. Like he just got it done every time. And he was like a castaway from Toronto because he was like kind of bad his entire career in Toronto and then won a Cy Young with us his second year. At 30, like came out of literal nowhere. I'm pretty sure as a Blue Jay, his ERA was like north of 5. He had a 4.83 ERA in Toronto in 6 years and then had a 3.07 ERA for us. Don't know how that's possible.
We see 1 year he pitched good.
Good. And then the next
the
year,
other
he
year
pitched
was not.
bad. Yeah, Carpenter.
That's how you have a difference.
Carpenter in 108 postseason innings had an ERA of 3, a WHIP of 1.29. Yeah, ridiculous stuff. 10 wins and 18 starts. I know pitcher wins are kind of irrelevant, but in the playoffs, like means he was going deep.
That's a fair take.
It's like maybe the only time I think pitcher wins are actually. Wow, I'm sorry. I also completely forgot to mention that G-Man Choi play was
That
incredible.
was great. Yeah,
Beautiful. That's a beautiful man playing baseball right there.
it's a beautiful, man.
Also true.
I'm a beautiful man. I'll say it right now. All
Period.
right.
Yeah.
I'll make a tier list now of just beautiful MLB players. He's on my list.
He should be number 1 on your list.
I think it's Ohtani. Ohtani's got the great hair. Is just great smile. Just he's gotten huge now. Like he's on that like Giannis diet of like now he's just jacked. It's ridiculous.
just a muscly band.
Well, we are back. We are back.
So in the same vein as that Ohtani story, did you guys read the story on The Athletic about Ichiro and all the anecdotes about Ichiro?
Oh my
Oh,
god!
that was
like a
the
month
Brady
ago.
one. The Brady one is my favorite.
That's legendary.
I'm trying to remember.
Just also just
So
as a Colts fan, hearing Ichiro go, "Who the f is Tom Brady?" is just like that's all
There's
the validation
so many
I will
about
need for
Ichiro.
half a decade.
My favorite,
Ichiro's
I
just
don't remember. I don't. It was someone playing for the Mariners in 2001, and he was like jogging out to right field, and the umpire's like, "What is up?" Or he was jogging out to his position, and the umpire's like, "What is up with your right fielder?" And he's like, "What do you mean?" And he's like, he ran out, came out past me. He's like, "Hey Ichiro, welcome to America." And Ichiro just goes, "What's up, home slice?" and keeps running past.
I think my favorite was the Mike Sweeney one.
Yes.
Where
Oh my
Mike
god!
Sweeney,
Yeah.
he was just Mike Sweeney didn't think that he like spoke English very well, so he said when
It was-
Ichiro was jogging out, he said like I don't even remember what Sweeney said.
No, it was when Sweeney was on the All-Star team and they went to Japan, and the stadium in Japan when they got a hit said like "nice batting" on the scoreboard
Right?
or whatever.
Yeah.
So he's
and
like
he was trying to like be.
he was trying to be nice to Ichiro and say something you know. So Scott, you can finish, but
yeah, he said Ichiro nice batting, and he said Mike Sweeney nice ass.
Absolutely incredible, legendary response
Oh
there.
my God.
and then the other one, I don't remember who it was, but someone was playing for the Rangers, and he's like, it was just god awful weather, like so hot in Texas and terrible, and like Ichiro got to second or something, and this guy was playing short, and he's like, "Hey Ichiro, what's up?" And Ichiro's like, "It's hotter than 2 rats in a wool sock."
Yeah.
Oh my god!
I also
Man,
like
those have good quotes.
the who do you talk to when you're in a slump? I talk to myself.
Yeah, no, dude, the best Ichiro self thing was when he threw the one time in his career he threw the bat, and then he apparently had a 5-minute like one-on-one meeting with his bat to apologize, and then slept with it in his bed that night as like a
So-
sign to because he said he needed to rebuild trust. That is
So
just immaculate.
earlier this year, top Tigers prospect Riley Green was in like a week-long slump and slept with his bat, and then went 5 for 5 with a homer the next day.
Does he
I
sleep with the bat every night now?
And,
Like,
No, you can't do it
no,
every
but
night.
like it was just funny because you know that story about Ichiro came back up after that because people like
one of my favorite things about Ichiro too is that, and apparently Mike Cameron is getting in on this too. That like during extended spring training and stuff, because they both work for the Mariners in like a like advisory role. They'll just like put a uniform on and go play in the extended spring training games.
yeah.
And,
Ichiro
like you read the
did,
stat lines and they're like,
yeah.
yeah, Ichiro went 1 for 3 with a single to right and 2 groundouts, and I'm like, classic.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and
Makes
I, you know, and I'm like, and I know that base hit was a ground ball too. Like, and like he's just getting it done.
Yeah.
Oh, Matthew asked a good question. Picks for
Nope.
baseball medals. Oh, an anonymous Matthew
Nope.
Liberatore, is that the Cardinals' top prospect? Matthew Liberatore in chat.
Boo. Low effort.
Don't boo. King, get your walks down and your ERA down, please. It's AAA. Like,
Be better, basically, is what he's saying.
please be better.
Are you telling him to pitch better? I don't know for sure, but oh no, Cardinals AAA isn't in the PCL, is it?
I don't think so.
Because I was about to say, you telling him to pitch better in? Are you saying simply pitch better in the biggest offensive environment in professional baseball?
Oh yeah, no, I don't think he's in. I don't think he's in. He's in. Well, they renamed them all. So like, what
Oh,
is
that's
PCL?
true. That's true. I forgot about that.
Like, is PCL?
He's in Tokyo right now.
Is it PCL East or PCL West? Like, you know what I'm like.
Picks for baseball medals in the
Clowns.
Olympics. I have not been watching so far, so I don't know
Israel.
like what teams are looking good.
Mexico's been eliminated. So I'm
Nah,
sorry.
hey man, it's free Palestine. No
Yeah, free
medal.
Palestine, yeah.
All right,
Gotta-
USA gold. All right,
Yeah.
USA gold, and then countries. Julio Rodriguez,
You mean the Dominican
love to
Republic?
death.
Yeah, Dominican Republic.
Julio
Get him in there.
Rodriguez, yeah, silver.
And the Dominican
Um,
Republic has Joey Bats too, right?
Yes.
Yes.
I'm
And
not. I'm not.
Mexico has
personally-
Aegon, so I'm
Mexico's
feeling already.
Yeah,
they got
Mexico's
a
gone.
group stages.
I mean, like, I don't know, like they weren't that good. Yeah.
They
Yeah,
were,
but they
no.
had Adrian Gonzalez. Like, they had
Wait,
fun
so
names.
who's still in? Are Japan and Korea still in?
Yeah, Japan has to be.
So,
I'd imagine Japan is. I don't know about Korea.
let me
Because
double-
Japan, I think the KBO and Nippon
Oh,
both
yes.
took breaks.
United
to
States
allow
and
for
Japan are
everyone to
in.
play.
Israel and South Korea are in. That might be it.
The
That
DR?
might be the 4 teams that are left.
Did the DR
Okay, yeah,
get-
then I'll go
Oh, yeah.
USA gold, Japan silver,
Oh,
South
no,
Korea
no,
bronze.
no. The Dominican Republic still has a game scheduled.
So that means they're not out.
Japan, US, Korea, Israel, and the DR. Everyone but Mexico left. Oh, okay. So apparently in group stages,
Oh,
there's a
so
who's the DR got the game against?
Yamada.
Dang. Wait, Israel's 0-2 right now? Are they still in?
No, they're one. They won. They beat
They won their
Mexico.
first game. They beat Mexico.
They
Yeah.
beat Mexico 12-5.
Oh, then this is not
Israel
updated.
and South-
What?
Israel and South Korea first pitch is in 2 hours. I will be rooting for South Korea in that game.
So-
And then USA and Japan tomorrow is at 5 a.m. for my I gave Central Standard Time. Midwest versus the world, in my opinion. But
Well, 2 hours is 2 hours, no matter where you are. But
well, no, 2 hours. 2 hours east of me is the middle of the ocean. But
no, the concept of time of 2 hours is going to be 2
oh
hours.
yeah.
Regardless of where you are.
It's all right. For a second, I thought you meant time zones, and I was like,
Wait, why did
Bud,
this tell
I'm
me
like,
that?
oh.
Why was this telling me that Israel's 0? Oh, Israel has lost two games. So they're 1-2. The United States is 2-0 right now.
Mexico.
yeah, we
0-3.
smoked Israel, and then I'm pretty sure we won like a squeaker against Korea, and then we played Japan.
Israel has Ian Kinsler, which is dope.
That is
Sure.
dope.
Scott, I think you'd agree. A little shambolic. He's 1 hit shy of 2K and decided to hang it up. Should let him do an Ichiro. Let him get 1 hit and then be like Bernie Williams, Mr. 3000 type beat. Like, let him get 1, get him to 2K, and then be like, I'm out.
Yeah, I don't know.
If it were me, I don't know. Like, just from a personal vendetta, like, if I'm Ian Kinsler, I'm like, if I was on the Major League roster for a week, I'm gonna get 1. You know what I mean? I'm gonna poke 1 through, and then that's all I need. Who cares if my batting average goes down 1 career, 2,000 hits? If it
Yeah.
were me, I would want the round number.
These are fair points being made. I will concede that.
Nothing. That just I love that argument for me. Essentially boils down to if I were a major leaguer, I would simply get 2,000 career
Well,
hits.
so
That's-
if you're Kinsler, do you tell your agent to just go to a team and say, sign him for league minimum? I don't care. He's gonna play until he gets 1 hit and then retire.
Yeah, I'm sure the Tigers would do that, or like the Rangers. Like,
Someone would do it for PR.
yeah, like
He'd be the best second baseman on my team.
like
so.
the Tigers. The Tigers and the Rangers both weren't competing in 2019. Like, they weren't. So they're gonna, for PR standpoint, sure. And then you like let them give like a nice little cap tip, and you present them with a jersey, and then like if it were the Tigers, you could bring out like Prince and like like do that kind of thing. Highest OAA. I'm gonna go with my boy. Nice. Scott
that
and I
one,
both.
that one I feel like was honestly like really easy.
Scott and I both selected a
The correct answer.
player that I love watching play.
I thought that one was pretty straightforward, to be honest. I don't view any of those other 3 guys as
Exit velo on that
Oh,
double, by
yeah,
the
yeah.
way, it was
Good
was
defender.
110.8, which means that I win trivia tonight unless someone hits 120 plus. So
What did you just say to me?
Avs fan 29 in YouTube says hi. What's going on, Avs fan? How you doing tonight?
What's up?
oh, you're an Avs fan. You guys stink for re-signing this guy. I really thought he was
Why?
going to the.
Okay, Carson. All right, let's cool it.
He's going to timeout. Carson's going
I'm
to-
also a Red Wings fan, so I apologize in advance for us not getting along.
Carson's been put in. Can I unmute you too?
Yeah, you can, but so can I. So
Hold on.
I'm saying the Avs stink, not you. I'm sure you're very nice.
I'm trying to Carson. I'm going to see if I can unmute you once.
This is how, like,
If you wanted to fire back, Avs fan,
I can't
Carson's a
unmute.
Blues
I can't
fan,
unmute you.
just so you
You have to
know.
unmute yourself.
well, that's silly.
I was just curious. Nothing against what you were saying. I was just curious at this point. I get curious. I'm like, I need to press buttons until I figure it out. Yeah, we're already. We are.
Don't talk about it.
We're playing baseball.
Don't talk about it.
We're playing a very good game of baseball so far.
There's some baseball happening.
Bobby
I don't know,
Dahlbeck walk strikeout.
baseball.
How much says he homers here to complete the 3
Just,
true outcomes in 3 plate appearances?
Just received a tough text. No, in fantasy related news for me. There's no player I can offer to get me Logan Gilbert. That sucks.
Dang.
See, I know I'm rebuilding my team super hard. So
I do like Logan Gilbert.
That's
I
probably
do.
why.
yeah,
He's
I mean-
still-
my team just got really hurt, and like I was trying to build around like Trout still being super elite, and then when we got put on the 60 day, I kind of went all in. So I currently own like the 2 through 6 prospects on Baseball America. So yeah, it's a dynasty league. It's not redraft. Like I'm diving into a rebuild super hard. Like I've got Adley, Witt, Julio, Kelnick, Carlson, Adele, like.
Witt,
you know,
Bobby
like
Witt.
Vlad,
I was gonna
like-
say,
yeah.
I was gonna say Witt is not diving into a
I'm
rebuild.
like, why do you
Yeah.
have Merrifield?
No. Bobby
That's the
Witt,
same.
like Edward Cabrera, Daniel Lynch, Tristan McKenzie. Like I recently acquired Casey Mize, Julio Urias. Like I'm going all in with the youth movement.
I do like
Oh.
good use.
Speaking of text messages we just received, I just got a random number text message that says, "Sean, your code printed on your receipt came in first in our AirPods draw."
Sean,
No way. No way.
Accept the
Definitely
prize,
send
bro.
your
Click the link.
definitely
Yeah.
send your home address.
Yeah.
send your social security number in there, dude.
Yeah, all they're asking
no
for is a
way.
credit card number. That's crazy. I can't believe I won.
And,
No.
and like your mother's maiden name and
Yeah.
your childhood dog. That's so crazy.
The childhood street you grew up on.
What was that, by the way? What was your childhood street that you grew up on, Rudy?
No
Giving
comment.
away his address.
It was no comment Boulevard.
Wow.
Hard. Crazy.
Yep.
I think also just random side note here. I think it'd be so funny to start naming like roads and stuff just after other names for roads, like have like Street Road, Boulevard Parkway,
Boulevard
Stuff like
Parkway.
that.
Just
I think it's so
street.
funny.
Boulevard.
No,
Diego,
I'm not gonna
We're
lie.
gonna make this confusing. We're going all the way down the rabbit hole. I want street.
Boulevard Park.
I'm not gonna lie. Boulevard Parkway goes hard.
That goes hard, bro.
That sounds like something out of Monopoly, man.
It does, doesn't it? I think it'd be so funny.
Oh,
Hey, DD,
that's
Uh-oh.
a tough.
DD Monopoly night wins.
Oh, that's a tough
Man,
break.
Mike Zunino is not having his finest night behind the plate. And to be fair, Christian Vasquez has also had a pass ball, I believe. But Zunino has now allowed a drop third strike, base runner, and a run to score on 2. That might be a wild pitch.
Yeah, that bounced. I think that bounced before home plate, did it
That
not?
bounced well
Very
before
hard.
home plate.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
like 4 feet before home plate.
That's a wild pitch. I mean, my goat Yachty, who illegally has pine tar on his chest protector, that never happened because it would get.
I needed him again.
Good. Proud of you.
I don't like this. This practice has got to end. All right, this practice has got to stop.
It's time to stop.
It's literally a self-deprecating joke. I'm making fun of the time he blatantly got caught cheating and got away with it.
No, that's
Yeah, and not only did he get away with it, it was posted everywhere, and they were like, "Ha ha ha! Look how quirky and funny this is." And we were like,
It was
this man's
awesome.
cheating pretty hard.
And he's just standing there laughing.
Scott's just salty because Kenny Rogers got caught with pine tar in the 06 World Series and he's not over it, all right? That's what this all goes back to.
Yeah.
No, that's actually not true. They just you know what? Actually, you shouldn't even be salty because Tony La Russa, fun fact, this is how you know Tony La Russa effing sucks. he caught Kenny Rogers with pine tar and just let him stay in the game. Like, he made the umpires aware of it, and they were like, I'm out. And he was like, if he just washes his hand, it's fine. And I'm like, dog, like...
All right, well, a couple things. One, not salty about that freaking at all. Two, Kenny Rogers topped out at like 85 and had a spin rate that I could match. So I'm not sure what the big issue is.
No, that just reminded me of that story. That Tony La Russa literally caught someone with pine tar, and they said, we can kick him out of the game if you would like. And his answer was, no, he just wash his hand.
My favorite one was when they checked what's Janice for Baltimore, the knuckleballer. For
Oh my
tar.
God, yes. Like, why? What are you
I thought it
accomplishing?
was so funny. We have an
Also,
anonymous.
Also, do you know
anonymous-
how obvious that would be to have, like, let's say he put spider tack on his knuckles. He's a white man.
Yeah.
Like, it would have been so unbelievably clear he was using. Like, that's an interesting spray tan you have there on just your hairy knuckles. Like, in what world is
It would
that?
also be pointless because spider
Yeah.
tack improves, spin rate. You
yeah.
don't want spin on a knuckleball.
Yeah.
We do have also just going back to the streets thing. An anonymous commenter said, "I drove on a North Street road,
Nice.
and I love that." Or N Street. I'm assuming that's North Street Road.
Street Road.
Favorite is when you have like North South Street and stuff like that. I've seen those
Mhm.
before.
It's always in those small towns. That's where it really hits. When you're driving through the boonies. As someone that attends the University of Iowa, let me tell you, you do your fair share.
I go to school in Idaho, bud. Or I went to school.
Oh,
in Idaho,
hey, you know
so
what? And
I get it.
yeah, there's the one up there. Iowa City at least has a little. We got like a river.
No,
It's a
I
little
live
bit
in
of a
Boise,
place.
so I live in like.
I was gonna say, I'm like, yeah, I was gonna say.
To the places, out there. A little bit.
A little bit.
A little bit. No, but yeah, I'm just saying. Boulevard Parkway. Let's make it
Yeah.
happen. Some city developer. I don't know who will be watching this that's a city developer, but hit me up.
When, as Scott mentioned last week about, I'm forgetting the name, blanking on Project Detroit. That's not the name. That's very phoned in. Maybe when they finally develop that, they can make the street names as fun as they would like to.
Oh, District Detroit. You're
District
up,
Detroit. I felt bad like phoning in really hard because I didn't want to sound disingenuous, but
No. I mean, you weren't. You weren't too far off.
I'm glad to know though that both of our like decaying Midwestern fandom cities have like major downtown projects that are both of our team owners just neglect horrifically.
Yep,
It's so cool that we share that.
I know. It is truly.
But
Wow,
no, dude, I'm
really
so
close to a
excited for
swing,
John
by
Lester
the way.
and
It
J Hap.
was.
I'm so excited
Oh, yeah.
for John Lester and J Hap to pitch on back to back.
Oh, that was
really close to a swing.
Yeah. Yeah, that was
Rasmussen is
very
also
good.
just such a Rays pitcher too.
To be honest, I don't know who this guy is.
Yep.
That's the
That's
reason.
That's a Rays pitcher right there, man.
If you don't know who they are, they probably play for the Rays.
You don't know who they are, but they will be top 10 in spin rate and throw 9 pitches that have at least 8 inches of break.
True. I mean, because what was it?
That was
Ryan
literally
Sh-
like 8 pitch at bat, and they were all 4-seam fastballs, and he walked them.
Tough looks.
Yeah. Scenes.
Scenes in, I can't even name the county Tampa Bay is in. Cobb?
It's in St. Pete, so the stadium's in St. Pete.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Cobb County, Florida, question mark. What is Cobb County famous for? No, that's where
Born on the Cobb. Nebraska.
no, Cobb County is where Atlanta is.
Fulton
Who cares?
County
Fulton County.
is Atlanta.
Was it used to be in Cobb? What am I thinking of? My brain is just deleting itself right now. Cobb County, Georgia has Included in the Atlanta metropolitan area. Okay, so yeah, Cobb County, Battle of Kennesaw and Kennesaw State University are there. If you guys would like some local history of that area, because I'm just going through it to Wikipedia.
Oh, don't worry. I was curious.
I'm so glad that you were, dude. Wow. This county has like nearly tripled since 1980 in population, so clearly good things are happening there. Good for you guys.
We do like some growth.
Love to see it.
Also, I don't know if you guys saw the yesterday. I think MLB posted it. Lamont Wade Jr.'s home run over his mom's head.
I was so cool. Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
I was a big fan, and they were talking about it today on the broadcast because one of our reporters asked, like, "Why is your mom sitting out there?" And the response was like, "She wasn't. She was touring the stadium. He came up to bat, so she stopped to get a good view."
Nice. That's even
That's
cooler.
cool, yeah.
I that also would have been funny if he was like, "I'm making league minimum. She can she can sit in the boxes once I get an extension."
Yeah.
That would have been really funny to hear.
Also, like, I want to sit up because it's up on the water up there, or the water part where you can see the water behind you. Just sit up there. Those tickets are just so hard to get because they always sell out first.
Okay, I was gonna say, is it are you priced out or are you exclusived out or is it both?
I mean, it's a little bit of both, but I'm also not in San Francisco often enough, or back to California often enough. But like, I one of these days I'm gonna get tickets up there.
That's actually, you know what? That's a great question. I'll ask Rudy and Scott this, and then I can go last. Rudy, you can answer for both parks. Where is somewhere that you'd like to sit in Wrigley or Kauffman that you haven't yet? That obviously front row right behind home plate. That doesn't count. Like, give a little pitch for your ballpark. What's like a cool part of the stadium that more people should sit in?
This doesn't. I mean, my answer for where have you not sat yet that you want to sit, and where's a cool part of the stadium that more people should sit in is different at Wrigley. That's for sure. Because I do believe that it's generally a over 21 thing to sit in the bleachers. So I have never had a bleacher experience at Wrigley yet.
Oh, really?
Really?
Yep.
See,
Given that I am 20, so you know.
No, yes, of course.
But it is the over 21 thing.
Yes. The over. It was the over. Yeah, Diego and I did the over. Yeah.
Because that's not. I mean,
I just have the horrible affliction of thinking everyone's the same age as me.
Yeah.
Like I'm just like.
Rudy's actually 12.
You're right that it's not standard, but it's at the same time at Wrigley, it's like the bleacher bum beer culture there is kind of like you just don't go and if you went there when you were 20, it would be fine, but like I haven't gone to a Cubs game by myself, and so most of the time it's been
fair.
Oh, I'm 15. Yeah, no, we're not sitting out there.
I remember I went to, or last time I sat in the bleachers, it was actually in San Francisco. It was a Cubs Giants game a few years back, and Pablo Sandoval had a walk-off single.
Boo.
And extras.
How dare you?
There are some head shakes and some nods in this crowd, and it's very dependent on your team.
Yeah, I don't really have. I've sat everywhere.
Oh, okay, Scott. Okay, Mister, I'm friends with David Dahl, and I get to sit wherever I please.
No, it's not.
Sid lives 20 minutes from the stadium walking.
I go to so many games, dog.
Mm-hmm.
So many.
What's the favorite then?
Strictly value wise.
Sure.
My hidden gem favorite is first row of the upper deck right behind home plate.
Those are always good seats.
Yeah, right above the press box.
Right above the suites in the press box, that
sure.
Front row, you can literally get the first 3 rows literally right behind home plate there for for sub $40.
That's good value.
That's not bad. That's not bad. No.
And it's not like a we suck thing either. Like that's been like one of my go-tos for forever.
No, yeah. Bleach right above press box is a great spot to sit. Like when I go to Sox games during the weekday with like my buddies to just watch like Chicago and Oakland play. I'm like, that's a spot to go. Bush. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No. It's I was just going through give
us the rundown.
Third baseline is solid. Obviously, that's like a try and true. Sure. In Comerica, 104 is like the rowdy, like we're just gonna get hammered and yell at the right fielder all game section.
Nice.
So 104 is like if you want to party and you want to have a good time, like 104. Left field is decent, but the first 3.5 innings of a night game, you're going to be looking right into the sun. But after the sun goes down under the second deck, it's not bad. There's nothing in center field. And then lower bowl is pretty much all the same. But yeah, my go-to is that upper deck right behind home plate, or there's or right field, to be honest. Those are like the two go-tos, yeah.
Busch Stadium, best experience. I've been to back in the day when Busch 2 existed and I lived in St. Louis, I was like part of
This is 3, right?
Yes. We're on 3 now. It's been existing since 2006. Busch 2, I was like a part of Cardinals Kids Club, and I went to back when I was in St. one of my dad's best friends. Yeah, back when one of my dad's best friends to this day, he's got a couple friends in the Cardinals organization, but one of his best friends in high school, my mom's best friends in high school and in college, he worked in the Cardinals front office, so we were very fortunate to go to a few games. And so back in Busch 2, the cheapest 300 level, not upper bowl, right on top, but right there was pretty good. There was a pretty nice view in Busch 2, as much as that stadium gets lambasted. But in Busch 3, the best seats I've ever had is very front row in right field, right next to the bullpen. Because you've got a great view of the grass, they cut the arch into the grass, and you look and you can see Ballpark Village, you can see the state capitol, and you can see the arch if a ball gets hit out the center or left, that's in your view line. It's a very picturesque place right there, and it's.
So, can you give me the time periods for Busch 1, 2, and 3?
Yeah, so Busch 2 was built in the 60s.
Because I went in. Sorry, I'm going to cut you off after I asked.
You're good.
I went in 16.
That's Busch 3 for sure.
Okay, cool.
So Busch 3's inaugural season was 2006.
Oh.
It was 2006 to 2021 president.
Wow, you guys want to fucking. Sorry, you want to ring your first year in the new stadium?
Two in the first 5, yes.
That's not the question, but okay.
No, just irrelevant information I should provide for that.
Cool.
Yeah, and then so Busch 2, I loved Busch 2. I was just a little kid when I went there, but it was very much the cookie cutter. Every city in America built one enormous stadium for everyone to be in, and so. Busch 2 existed from 1966 to 2005, and then Busch Stadium 1, it was called Sportsman's Park, and then it became Busch Stadium when it was acquired. So if you want to call it I guess the time it was just Busch was 1953 to 1965 is Busch 1. But okay. Sportsman's Park, which was Sportsman's Park / Busch 1, was 1927, maybe? The thing is, Sportsman's Park / Busch 1 was where the Browns played for forever, too. The Cardinals, inherited it as their home stadium because they're old. And, the history of it's a little complicated. The first World Series the Cardinals won, they won it at they didn't win in their own home stadium. It was the St. Louis Browns Stadium. So it's a little finicky. but like the Busch Stadium timeline is 53 to 65, 66 to 05, 6 present. And I think Busch Stadium 3 is really beautiful. I think they did a really good job.
It's a very nice
It does.
stadium.
It's a really good mix of that like retro feel. It's Oracle now in San Francisco, right?
Yeah.
Oracle.
Yeah. I think Oracle, PNC, and Busch are like the flagship examples of how to build a modern baseball stadium. Oh, and Camden Yards, of course.
Camden Yards is really pretty.
Are like the flagship examples of that I can think of. I mean, I guess how is Comerica like in terms? Is it like the design of it? I don't know a lot about it, but
yeah. So it's stadium. It's stadium itself. It is very. It's actually pretty Camden because they use for the field it's fucking self. Sorry, I keep dropping F-bombs for some reason.
Scott is not checking his swing this evening.
For the
if you ask John Heyman, none of us have checked our swings tonight because we've all let some language fly.
I haven't.
Not yet, Diego.
Yeah, Diego, you said Pablo's name.
You're right. My bad.
Hey, I gave a fair warning, so my swing was pretty much a
You
hobby
did.
bias where
Rudy
everyone knew
gave
it was
a
coming.
very appropriate. And also, Rudy, yours
knew it
was
was
yours was very appropriate.
Earned.
Yes,
Oh,
well earned. But yes, Scott, anyway, Comerica Park as a
right. So Comerica, very.
Oh my goodness!
So
I've
also it's a fantastic play.
He didn't get
Oh,
it.
that's an incredible
Wow.
play.
lordy.
Is that Hernandez?
Kike.
Avery in shambles in the chat right now because Kike just made a nice play.
Man, shout out! What a fantastic addition to this website, man. Avery's something else.
Avery is my absolute favorite. Avery is top tier Diamond Digest.
Every time she checks in, it's good stuff for sure.
Yeah.
And also her own show that she has.
Yeah.
It's very good.
Basically
I've been
Baseball.
basically baseball. Shout out.
Shout out Avery. Basically baseball. Check it out. They do some really good stuff.
Yeah.
All of those gals over there, they're doing incredible things.
Yeah.
Shout out Avery.
Sports, baby.
Yeah, y'all are.
Absolutely.
Diamond Digest is great because all the like external arms and interest that everyone is in, it allows me at work I don't have to listen to. I can now just listen to everyone's sports takes on their various podcasts. Like I get to hear Scott be like, listen, man. This team, I'm starting to pick up on the Scott Bentley cadence. It's great.
I get so much crap for it, dude. I have probably like 7-ish things that I say way too often. And yeah, it I've been getting crap for it my whole life for them. And
hey,
yeah.
Look, Scott, as long as you keep the like Scott Bentley laugh after you say something, like you've got you've got the perfect suburban dad who wants to say something but doesn't want to actually verbalize but make it clear that that's where they're going. It's so often I'll be like listening to Scott about something and this, Jonathan Scope, he just lets that sit and it's so good. It's so funny.
You gotta let it simmer sometimes. Yeah. I still am. I want to finish my thought on Comerica.
I'm sorry. We keep.
No. It was all warranted. So I have had the luxury of I've been to over half of the stadiums I've been to 18, I believe, of the major league stadiums. So I've had the luxury of seeing I've been to Camden twice and know how similar it is to Comerica, and while we don't have the thing in right field with the warehouse and stuff. We don't have anything like that, but the field itself, the inside of the stadium itself, is very similar to Camden, the statues in left, like Camden has a very similar kind of layout there in center field, and ours is just in left, and I guess it stretches into center. Center's just under the batter's eye. That's all. But yeah, I can't, and I fully say everything I'm going to say, knowing that I have immense bias, and like I'm just not going to hide it. I have always been of the belief that, and the more stadiums I go to, the more it reaffirms it, not makes me soft in the take.
Totally.
Is that Comerica is one of the most underrated stadiums in all of ball, and it's because it's in the middle of downtown Detroit, and that freaks people that don't live here out. And whatnot, but it is truly, the more and more stadiums I go to, like I said, the more passionate it makes me about the opinion, not the less. And I truly think it is one of the most underrated stadiums in all of baseball. And while I'm not saying it's like, my argument is always like, my opinion, even though I am a Tigers fan, does mean something, because
of course.
Because I think Fenway is the best stadium on the planet, and I hate the Red Sox more than literally anything. So that's like my argument of like, hey, like I might not be as biased as you think, because I think Fenway is the pinnacle of baseball stadiums, truly. But yeah, I think Comerica's, every single person who's going, like, been once or been like, oh, I finally, like, I went one time, has always said, oh, it was like way better than I expected. One of my favorites, whatever. So yeah, it's and it was also like Tiger Stadium was a part of the city forever. Like Tiger Stadium was a part of the city for 2 whole generations, pretty much. So coming in and having to replace Tiger Stadium and doing it as well as they did, and the only gripe people have is how deep center field is, and besides that, it's really all sunshines and rainbows. Everybody loves Comerica now, so.
Yeah, so
I want to get out there so bad sometimes.
I was gonna say I have two things. The first thing I was gonna say is there's a reason I asked you, because I was talking about like, oh, there's the blueprint for building a beautiful modern park, and I mentioned Pittsburgh and and I didn't mention Detroit. That's why I wanted to ask, because I wanted to get your thoughts, because I always thought it was really nice. It's like right across from Ford Field too, right?
It's
like
literally next door, yeah. So I always park in Ford Field parking, because you can see the Ford Field sign from home plate.
Right, yeah, and I always said like Seattle has that too, which I think is really nice. And then
now LCA is on the other side now too, so all 4 of our teams are all
nice
within
there.
And then
pure nerd question, because I've seen it in center field before. There's like a white marble old building, like in dead center. It looks like. What building is that? Because
oh no, that's the Country Club one. Yeah, Detroit Athletics Club.
Okay, because the Cardinals have the state capitol, like in their view, and so I'm a sucker for a ballpark. That's why I love PNC so much, because they have the bridge.
Wait, what are you talking about?
I'm a sucker.
Wait, don't you guys know that anything outside the ballpark doesn't matter whatsoever to the quality of the ballpark experience?
Oh, of course, yes.
Even things inside the ballpark don't
No,
matter.
Rudy, if you want to hear me swallow my pride, Scott said Fenway, but I think Wrigley's better. It's a traditional ballpark. I think Fenway's
both,
cool, but like the fence, Fenway's 2 for me, because the fence thing annoys me. Wrigley's got the traditional fence all the way around, like height wise. Like there's no cheap homers in Wrigley, in my opinion, and there's cheap homers in Fenway.
Fair.
And that is why I think Wrigley is better. I think it's very similar, experience-wise.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting because I think Scott, you talk about how Comerica is a very underrated ballpark, and really I feel like a lot of people would say that that's their sentiment towards several stadiums.
True.
It's almost like you can't come across a bad one unless it's truly a bad one.
For sure, yeah.
Our eyeballs are currently looking at one that we
at a truly bad stadium.
Is a truly bad stadium.
I've heard been to most people's consensus bottom 3. I haven't been to any. I haven't been to Tampa, Dodgers, and I haven't been to the Coliseum. And that is pretty much everybody's consensus that's been to like all of them, or been to those 3 at least. It's pretty much all their consensus bottom 3 from the people I've talked to, and I haven't been to any of those. So I mean, I haven't been to one that I haven't liked. I've been to ones that are definitely better than others. The Nats Park is nothing special. It's just
no. But I was about the exact example I was about to say.
yeah,
I'm like,
it's
Nats
just a
Park
big
is
concrete block. Like there's no defining features. It's not no part of it's fun. Like it's just a big cement block in the middle of a city.
It is. I will say though, what the Nationals did do right is having it on the metro like that, like having the stop right there, like that. That was cool.
It's not really their fault. Like that is just all of Washington D.C. Like it's
it's insanely. Well, that's the problem too.
That's just what the stadium is. Yeah.
But that's the problem too. Is you got to think about what they're competing with architecturally. Like most cities have a few buildings that are architecturally very significant, very beautiful. In DC, those few buildings that are extremely architecturally significant are, I don't know, the White House and the Capitol building. Like they're
a little significant.
Yeah. Like I think that the Nats will forever suffer from the fact that they're fighting a losing battle to make their ballpark look pretty, unless they shell out and build like a marble like rotunda and like do all that. Like, but they're not building $1 billion stadium.
Right. Yeah. No, they're not.
Wait. Anonymous user in the chat does say they closed that metro stop before games and half the time. That's hilarious.
That's terrible.
I was literally trying to give.
That's terrible.
I'm glad to know that anonymous Nats fan user is willing to give me more firepower towards the organization.
That's funny. I'm trying to think of others.
Yeah.
So what about
San Diego's beautiful.
San Diego seems
I'll say
like a
that
nice
right
one.
now.
I've heard. Yeah, I haven't been there yet.
Because they have the but that Western Metal Supply Co. and they bought that whole building and turned it into like seats and stuff. It is super, super cool. And also because of like where it is locationally, like weather-wise, every game is just gorgeous. Like to attend, it's just unbelievably pretty. I know that about San Diego. Like I said, Busch 2, nostalgia is the reason. I think people like to shit all over the stadiums that are those big concrete bowls that are multi-use. But everyone who went to them in the city is like loved it. Wouldn't change it for the world. I love my 60,000 person baseball stadium. So I'm always willing to give a pass towards those stadiums.
Sure. Yeah. I have all the baseballs of the stadiums I've been to right there. I'm trying to see like
guaranteed rate was fine. Also,
yeah, I also went to guaranteed rate when the White Sox were putrid and like 8,000 people were there, and it was also fine. The makeup game of a rain out. Like no one was there.
Yeah, it's fine to go to. I think that it locationally isn't great. Like it's not. And I don't mean that in the sense that like terrible baseball Twitter people mean. I mean that it's not in a great location. That like around it is just kind of like a residential neighborhood. And not a residential like Wrigleyville where like there's no like bars or like there's no scene
just
around it.
A lot of apartment buildings around it. That's pretty much it. Yeah.
Right. And I mean, I understand why they built it there because Comiskey is the parking lot now. And like that makes sense that you wanted to keep that there and stuff. I just think that when they were choosing a different location that they could have maybe picked something a little bit more central. That was still on the south side of Chicago, but maybe something a little bit more central, and I think that would have maybe done them a little bit better.
I think they like the one thing I'll say about guaranteed rate is, in all honesty, I was more impressed with the outside than I was from the. I was like, damn, like I didn't realize this was such a nice park from the outside.
Really?
They have the cool. Yeah, I thought so.
Yeah, it looks pretty nice.
The walking up the ramps to get into the stadium is horrendous.
Yeah.
That sucks.
That is super stupid.
Because I see what you're saying, Scott. It looks really nice, and then it immediately ruins your experience because you have to walk 6 flights of stairs to get to your seats.
I also thought that was
well,
really
Wrigley's
dumb,
not that different in that regard.
It's different because you're inside Wrigley when you're climbing up all those ramps. Guaranteed Rate has it literally on the outside. Like, it feels like you're not in the ball. It feels like going through airport security.
Yeah,
It doesn't feel like you're there.
Yeah.
It's like a
And like
tap to
Wrigley,
the side.
Wrigley, it feels like you're there.
Yeah.
You're like, it's
Fair enough.
this kind of sucks, but I'm here.
Yeah.
I thought Great American was solid, but not mind blowing.
Overrated. It's the
was-
most
That
overrated
one, I would
park.
agree that one's overrated. I think
It's
Like,
not.
it was
It doesn't
done,
look
it's
good.
fine,
There's
but-
the steamboat thing is ugly and it looks tacky and like I just, eh.
I think
I really do. I really liked. So I really liked right field.
Okay.
For whatever reason, I really like right field in that stadium. Yeah, not like a blow your socks off. Wow, this is an incredible stadium, but I was not in my like bottom tier either. Like it was fine.
How was like deep left field? Like, would you say that
Deep left field of Great
deep
American.
left field of deep?
of
Yeah.
Kauffman Stadium would be what you're talking about.
Oh, I forgot it was on the road.
Oh,
I was referencing the infamous call.
yes, fair, yeah.
Good job.
Kaufman is one that
Fantastic stadium.
that I was impressed with. Yeah,
the river, the like
I
water
went
stuff
into
there's cool.
Kaufman not thinking that I was gonna be like I hadn't heard bad things, but I didn't go into it thinking I was going to like it as much as I did. Truly, yeah.
I think Cleveland's a pretty nice one too.
Yeah,
Progressive.
Progressive
yeah,
field
it's not
pretty
bad.
nice.
I still the appeal with Cleveland for me is I really like the like what Carson has alluded to in a couple of them. I really like the area around it is awesome too.
Yeah.
Like there's
I think it's super important. I
Yeah.
think that is incredibly important
and
when building
also,
a baseball.
like Bush nails that. If we're being honest, like that is like
Yeah.
like I mean, Bush is in a such an electric part of town.
Yeah, I mean it's old town. You got the Mississippi right there. It is
such a fun part of town. Such a
it
fun.
which is why
I've
Scott,
been
I'm
there
so upset
twice.
about the lack of ballpark village development because I'm
Right.
like, you're in the bed of that city, bro. Like,
Yeah.
build some
I've
stuff.
been-
People
I've
are
been-
already there.
Yeah.
2 games there, and both times I spent like all day there, just like walking around the city. I don't know, in the area around the ballpark. And then when it was like kind of close to game time, we are just like, oh, like I guess we'll just like go in now. Like we're just having a ball. And then like there's a nightlife too in that area. Like it's in a really really fun part of town that they
Yeah.
they. do a great
Well,
job.
and
that is
when
what-
we're talking about
Sorry, go ahead, Rick.
when we're talking about
which like Kaufman is off a highway.
Yeah.
So like,
and when we're talking about giving points out in that regard of being in a nice part of town, I think Bush would also get credit for being in that part of town organically versus a stadium like
100%.
right, for
like
sure.
Truist
Yeah.
Park, where they built it like way out of the way, and they put in that kind of stuff that makes it a nice experience even outside the ballpark. But it's all inorganic, you know. They kind of
but-
planted that all there.
Bush
It's a
has
nice
done a really good.
experience, but it's
Bush did a really good job of when they transitioned from Bush 2 to Bush 3 to basically saying like that area you went in 16, Scott. So I don't know if you were there when Stan Musial and like / Veterans Memorial Bridge had been constructed yet, but when they constructed this, this is like deep St. Louis geographic knowledge I'm dropping right now. Because they used to have just the Eads Bridge.
I
which
saw the
everyone
arch,
took.
man.
Hey,
Yeah,
you
you
said-
know.
hey, that's the gateway to the West. You put some respect in that.
I
Big
went up to the
metal
very top. I didn't even
stepping
know until I was at the arch. I did not know you could
I
go
know you
inside.
can go
of it.
up. It's
I did
it's the
not know
only
that
time in
until
my
literally
life
I was standing in
been-
line. I was like, "What? We're about
It's
to
the
go
only
inside
time
of
in
it?"
my life I've ever been claustrophobic because the little pods you get in that like just they ratchet up.
yeah.
It's not a smooth ride up. It's very like. And I'm
Yeah.
like,
It's a hell of a view, though.
It
it's
is
sick.
cool.
Yeah, it's great to watch a baseball game from. So
From the arch?
yeah,
Oh.
you can watch a Cardinal. You can look into Bush 3 from the arch.
Yeah, but you don't sit there for 3 hours, do you?
I think you can buy a ticket to be there for like an hour though. So like what Scott talked about, if you're there in Ballpark Village, you could watch like the first like 3 innings of a game down and then get dinner in Ballpark Village and then just like watch on the TVs and stuff like right
Oh,
outside.
I was gonna say I wouldn't even want to watch a whole game there. Like, what if you got to pee and you're just stuck there?
Yeah. That's
Sucks.
yeah. John Mozeliak just caught wind of me saying that and watched them turn the arch into like VIP boxes now.
Yeah, it's gonna cost $500 a game.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So anyway, what was really cool, you're talking about like how the Cardinals are organically there. Their entire proposal with the city, they helped. They said as part of their like city's funding and stuff, they put together an entire project where they constructed an entirely new like bridge for like flow of traffic, and that's where
JD
the
Martinez is an elite defender.
Look
Keep
at
going.
that.
like it's like right on the river landing is where they're going to build like their MLS stadium. Like that is something I will give the Cardinals a lot of credit for during the Busch Stadium 3 plan, was that they placed themselves in a very organic part of the city and not only put themselves there but built a organic environment around it and helped to expand it. And that's something that's like really cool. So that is also what makes Busch. It's also just beautiful. I love the look of Busch Stadium. It's also why I love Oracle so much, because it's very similar. I love the Coke bottle.
Bottle and,
I like the glove.
The glove, yeah.
Yeah, it's dope. It's iconic. Like that's why I like a ballpark with some goofy stuff in it gets it done for me. Like bring back the Marlin statue.
The Coke bottle is a slide.
Bring back the home run sculpture.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes,
That's the take.
man.
That great tweet that was like reject modernity, embrace tradition.
Yes.
That's content right there, man.
Who Scott didn't read Percy Jackson? I mean, I did, but like I guess
What?
I don't know.
They talking Percy Jackson about going up in the arch.
Oh well, I'm sorry that the book about a kid being a literal demigod or whatever.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry. The part about them going to St. Louis was lost on
of it.
Scott. Yeah, like I love St. Louis, but like I'm sorry. Scott doesn't have to apologize for that portion being lost on.
Oh,
Nelson
absolute
Cruz
canon.
stinks, by the way.
Nelson Cruz, noted not good base runner.
Not at all. No.
Great. I mean, granted, the Sox do have Kevin Plawecki up, so Renfro's got a hose, man. Oh my god.
Yeah, I mean he's a good defender. That's why he was a Red.
Children.
Oh my god, it's a slide for adults. All right, I'm
No,
going.
you have to be like under 16.
Oh, they don't let you? That's terrible.
I haven't tried since I was a kid.
Boo.
I've gone down the slide. I haven't
City
tried.
that preaches equality doesn't let adults have drunk fun. Boo.
I mean, they might.
Scott, what can Detroit add? Because the Cardinals have. Do we have a goofy thing? I guess we've got like the arch is cool. Like, what's like a goofy thing, Comerica? If you could add like,
we have
home run type thing.
Yeah, so we have some stuff that we do like it's like we have the fountain in dead center, the General Motors fountain, with 2 very nice cars every year.
Okay.
That are just on the top of the fountain, and then when we win, the fountain goes off. Like that's cool.
Do the cars do like a lap?
And they're like
oh, okay, that would be cool.
They're
If they like
on
drifted, if the cars
They're,
like
stuck
drifted,
out
that'd
there.
be cool.
They're like way up in the sky, like way hanging.
Okay.
And then the other thing we do is there's 2 tigers on top of the scoreboard, and their eyes like glow green, and there's a growl every time the Tigers score a run. So
All right,
there is like
Good.
like
No
stuff
live
that-
tiger though.
stuff that
Did
we
you guys
do.
ever do that in your team's history?
what?
Had a live tiger like LSU does that?
Not at the game. Not at the game.
Okay.
Never been an incident where that's happened. There's like photo shoots of old tigers with like baby cubs, like not cubs, baby. What's a baby?
No,
baby
tiger
tigers?
cubs. Yeah, you're right.
Oh,
No,
it is
tiger
a cub.
cubs.
Okay,
you're good.
yeah. So there is there's pictures with like Alan Trammell as a rookie with like a
Yes.
tiger, like
See,
Blue
I
Whitaker
thought-
and stuff.
So I know the Tigers aren't in the City Connect promotion this year, but when Arizona did the rattlesnakes, I thought that the Tigers were going to do that. I thought that
Yeah,
they'd be
I'm really pumped to see what we do, and I'm hoping we get it next year because it is like the homes especially are very like haven't been touched in over 100 years, like very
as they shouldn't be.
I agree.
Very iconic.
But at the same time, like or whatever for like 3 weekends a year, like you're allowed to have fun, man. Like you know what I mean? Like
Let's do it.
I would be okay. I would be very. I don't want us to do like what I think the Yankees are going to do and just be like, no, we refuse. We're tradition. Blah blah blah. Like
Yeah.
you wear it like 4 times a year, dog. Like have fun. It's okay.
Yeah, no, maybe the Yankees for their City Connect, they'll say facial hair is allowed. So we'll just see like Joey Gallo with like five o'clock.
Yeah, I know. They're
shadow.
only gonna be able to get.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like they'll yeah.
They just
No.
wear like beard wig.
Yeah,
like,
oh
fake
yeah.
beards
Yes.
for the game.
See like a Dr. Disrespect full on mullet from Brett Gardner. Like let me get like
That's the other thing, man. Like the facial hair is one thing, but like you can't even have like fun hair.
Yeah.
yeah.
I know.
That's
Andrew
it's so
McCutcheon, when
dumb.
he was a Yankee, was one of the saddest things.
That yeah.
So
Well, he
sad.
cut his before he went to the Yankees,
yeah.
though. He cut it as a Giant, or before he was a Giant.
Well, he cut the flow, but he still had the beard. He still had the
Oh yeah, the beard, yeah, but the flow.
Yeah.
I thought we were talking about.
yeah. Oh, he cut the locks because he has like a
The locks.
mohawk. He has like a mohawk.
The locks McCutcheon is a goat, man.
Hey,
Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
true. That's true. Raise the Jolly Roger Pirates era, and that
When they did this thing,
yes. It's
that's when I went to PNC during the middle, like the height of that era. Oh, it was so
Dude,
Dude,
fun.
I'm telling you, man, the Pirates are the only team in my division that I'm actively like. I also root for your success, and it's also because I have family that are like from like actually from Pittsburgh. Like grew up with like train tracks right behind their backyard, Pittsburgh. So I root for the Pirates to do well because they play in a beautiful park.
Speaking of the City Connects, I think the Pirates could get some fantastic ones if all
They
goes
can.
well.
They absolutely can.
Oh, if they bring back the Stargell, that's what I want.
That
I
being
want the
said,
Stargell Star unis bad.
That being said, the Giants were one of my picks for fantastic City Connect uniform.
It could have been
potential.
so good.
They were so bad, Diego. They're so bad.
I
dude.
saw them in real life.
Diego
They're
saw them
so
in
bad.
person.
I
Yeah.
saw them in person, and they're worse.
Worse? Yeah.
Yeah.
They're worse. in
I will.
person.
I will plug an article written by myself. If you, as I'm a Cardinals fan, as you have all heard and have lambasted me before, if you would like to see what I think the Cardinals City Connect uniforms should look
You were
like,
busy, right?
yes, I DM'd it.
remember.
That's the most nervous DM slide of my life. Was
Izzy
being like,
works for
was
our
like-
website.
was like, can you please make my like absolute insane man drawings or like half cooked ideas look good? And she was so cool about it and just
He's the
destroyed it.
goat, man.
Because
Izzy
she can
is
make
the most
anything
incredible
look good.
human being
She
on the
did a
planet.
jersey swap for free. I was like, yeah, we could just like template it up. I was like, I know that like it's kind of short notice. You don't have to like. I'm like, I really just want that. And she was like, I have to do a jersey swap. Like you gave me like such a great like these turned out so well. And I was like, all right, like
Izzy,
I'm not
the
not
best.
saying no to free
also
content.
top tier of Diamond Digest, and also
Yes, S tier. We're also an out away from this.
Yeah, from this game
Being over.
Hey, we're on a bit of a streak, fellas. I'll say it.
A lot of strikeouts today.
We're on
Yeah.
a bit of a streak. Last like 2-3 times that we've done a DD, they've been rather quick.
Oh gosh. Well,
Well, now
Yeah,
it's
hey,
gonna take
here comes the
another
game
hour.
tying homer,
Yup,
here.
and we're going to the 14th tonight.
and we're going to the 14th. Everybody.
Look, I finally caved to my girlfriend and said that I would watch Twilight with her because it is one of her guilty
Oh,
pleasures.
Oh,
no.
So-
that day for me will come eventually, but it is not
I'm
today.
waiting for the baseball scene.
It's
That's
not
all.
even good. It's not even good, dude. It's funny, but it's not good. My best friend talked me into it. Not even my girlfriend. I don't have a girlfriend, but like
we lost a brother today.
she talked me into it.
Play
and I'm
that.
like,
Play taps again, Diego.
oh my God.
No, there's no taps to be played. There's no taps. Listen, I had to coerce her into watching Star Wars, so it's
I have
like
to convince her to watch Star Wars.
There's a
I-
distinct
listen, hey, look,
difference.
look.
That's the thing.
hey, two very passionate fan bases. Let's not split hairs.
There you
all
go.
right.
Fair
At the end of
fair enough.
if you were to put it in one sentence, they're two passionate fan bases.
Ah,
It's a sad day.
yeah, Twilight's not good, dude.
Well, you know what? I enjoy Robert Pattinson's indifference. So
There it is. Thank you. Heartfelt.
Anyway,
Truly.
Wait, is that not Amazing Grace?
it
Okay.
is.
yeah,
Well,
no, it's yeah.
bagpipes. It's Bagpipes Amazing Grace. That's all it is.
But yeah, I was gonna say I have a you got work in the morning, gotta watch a movie tonight, so I'm not too
Yeah.
sad
Is,
about a tight
Look,
3.
it's not.
Is
It's not.
Is Weisler only throwing one pitch? I think I've only seen him throw one pitch.
I didn't realize Weisler. Wait, former Giants legend. He was awful in San Francisco this season. It's fine.
All
It's-
864 Rays fans on the
Are on their
edge
feet.
of their seats.
on
They're on
their
the edge of
feet.
their seats.
He went to Tampa and instantly became like an elite reliever.
Look, same
That's how
pitch
that
again.
works.
What is he even throwing? Like, I'm not sure
Can
what
we
he's
talk
throwing.
about
Baseball.
how the? Can we talk about the
Sure.
the gray Kike Hernandez elbow sleeve? I don't know how I feel about that. Why is it not red or like navy? You know,
Yeah,
I kinda dig
great.
it.
Yeah.
the gray. I mean, does he have a white one then for home?
Well, they're
That's-
showing a
that's
bunch
my
of Rays fans with brooms. Look, same pitch
Yep.
again, and he gets punished.
Yep. Matt Weisler would be good
Does
at
not
baseball.
try
trying.
for second though.
It's like I'm wearing a Team Brazil jersey earlier. By the way, we're talking about the fans with the brooms. Brett Phillips, by the way, just legend. Rays legend, Royals legend.
Hernandez
Royals
coming
legend.
out of the game.
The best thing,
Is Kike not a good runner?
He royalty. I mean, I would have gone for one. I mean, Phillips is a great honor.
No, he
2 outs.
got pulled for a pinch runner.
Oh, I thought you meant why didn't he go for 2?
No, I meant why is he getting pulled for a pinch runner?
Oh, probably because I don't know.
Is he not a good runner, or is this other guy just like a really good runner?
What's Alex Cora's Apple Watch telling him?
Yeah.
You know, we'll never know.
gotta
Saying
say,
that's-
last comment regarding Brett Phillips, the best thing to happen to the Royals at the major league level in the last 5 years was Brett Phillips playing for the team.
He's so awesome. He's so cool. Like
He's one of the best personalities.
that's what
in
I'm
the
saying.
sport.
Like he's maybe
Uh-huh.
top 5. Like if you were to if someone were to if Robin Williams' genie from the hit Disney film Aladdin were to appear right now and be like, name an MLB player, he's in serious consideration.
Fair.
Yeah.
I have no idea how Rafi did not take a moonshot of a swing on that first pitch.
I
Right? The
know.
same pitch he,
I
the
mean,
same
yeah,
pitch he
it's-
just saw him throw 6 times to Kike.
It's top 9. It's top 9 2 outs.
Oh,
Oh.
oh my! Wow, Carson really said, "Let me f around and curse
Yup,
this."
yup.
Oh my gosh! Here we go, everybody.
All
Buckle
right,
up.
2 outs, 2 on.
And Carson really said,
Now I'm sweating. Now
He's
I'm
shaking.
sweating.
Carson really
He is
said,
shaking.
"Let me shake this up."
Oh,
Matt
cute.
Weisler really said, I'm going to forget I play in Tampa now. Throw it back to the Giants. Throw it back to his time in San Francisco. Yeah, it's crazy because he's in San Francisco. He was bad, then he went to Tampa, and then had like 14 straight score. And I'm like, cool.
TFW race.
TFW
what do you
race.
want?
'Cause
How
we
was
DFA'd
how
him.
was Wander Ben this year?
He's
Hitting
actually okay.
I know we're not batting average fans here, but he's hitting like under 230, I think.
I think he's hitting like 260.
Oh, look at that again. Let me look that up.
Because I was surprised by the number earlier today.
It is low. I'll tell you that right now.
Oh, it's 240.
Okay, yeah.
What's the old OPS?
699.
Ooh.
OPS plus of 98.
But his I
He's
will
like-
say he's
Average.
yeah. That's like Harrison Bader career numbers. So
He's
Harrison Bader literally has bad in his name. What's the
been up
strikeout
rough.
situation looking like?
he has struck out 26 times in 128 plate appearances.
Okay.
10 walks.
10 walks for sure.
10 walks is decent.
And also
So
as
he's-
many
he's
he
a
has,
rough-
he also I will say this, of his 28 hits, 10 of them are extra bases, and that's 4 doubles, 3 triples, and 3 homers. That is electric.
Yeah, it's fun.
That's an electric ball player, to say the least.
0.8 war.
Scott torn between not wanting me to curse this, but JD Martinez going absolutely nuclear on this pitch right now.
I mean,
I mean,
And
I
a
was
JD go
all
ahead
for
3-run
JD.
bomb, Scott swinging a drive would be quite a way for the fans to end their week.
it'd be electric.
Throw a ball in the strike zone challenge.
Oh man.
That almost ended the game.
Close.
Oh,
Could have been reflective of, I don't remember what game it was, but I think Scott and Diego, you guys were on. Margot made that catch over the wall
yes.
in the playoffs
Yeah.
last year.
Oh
Yep,
yeah,
I remember
that
that
was a
game.
crazy good catch.
We were on that call, I believe.
Might have been
'Cause we were
the
like, what?
Might have been the ALCS.
I think so. They also play it a million times over, so you'll probably see it in the next couple of days. We'll watch an MLB
Yeah.
game, but
Oh my god, yeah. If I have to hear that dumb dun 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 guitar riff, oh
Well, that was our. I think we discussed this before. Our conspiracy theory that's part of Rob Manfred's plans to decrease baseball viewership was to make those clips location specific
geographically bad.
and like unfavorable in the region. Like I've seen the one of Kimbrel giving up the homer at Wrigley in like September 2019 to the Cardinals many times over.
see, but
I've seen
I
a lot
enjoy
of Mookie Betts
but
bombs.
but I when I get that
Mookie
clip-
played second today and actually looked really good too. By the way,
But geographically,
Oh, yeah.
Carson, it's a
I
lot
was-
more likely that that would be an unfavorable clip in Chicago.
that
here we
is
go. Full
more
count.
fair.
2 outs.
21
Good.
straight sliders. I
21
knew.
straight
I
sliders.
knew I was
Yep.
not seeing.
Unreal. Also,
That's
yeah,
a-
Oh.
no.
Oh my, no way.
Mm,
Wow.
Ooh, game over.
oh boy. Oh
Game
boy. Nice
over.
little hug there. Matt Weissler, you can rot in hell challenge.
That is
Dang.
a well-earned save.
Rays fans, all 6 Rays fans acting like they just won the World Series.
Yeah.
True.
Hey Scott, you
They
can't
wouldn't
say
know
that
what
like
that's like.
you can't say that like they weren't 2 games away literally like 8 months ago.
You also can't say that like they've never won a World Series
yeah.
franchise history. So like, they don't know what that is.
Oh, JD.
Oh,
all you have to do is spit on that, man. All you have to do is spit on that.
Yep. and you
Matt
got
Weissler.
bases
There's
loaded.
another slider.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. The anonymous user took the over for the game being 4 hours and I took the under. They were the only person.
Ooh.
That might be a dub. That
that's
might be a
scenes.
dub.
That
Wait
is
for
scenes and a
Pete.
half.
Absolute. And y'all clowned me for picking the no-hitter option. But look where we are.
I mean,
That literally did not affect
were
it.
That did
wrong.
not affect
You were
anything.
wrong. we
Y'all
made fun
clowned
of
me
you.
for being incorrect, but I won anyway.
We made fun of you for being wrong, and you were wrong. Like,
Yeah, like, what?
0 effect on the outcome.
If I wouldn't have missed that one trivia question, I might be up there. I should have did not answer it. Did not know what was going on. That's on me. Either way, Rays take a 1.5 game lead now in the division.
I believe so.
Yes, it is.
Great weekend for the Red Sox.
Shout out my Rays pick on anonymous content.
Not a great weekend for the Red Sox for sure.
no.
No.
it was
No,
not.
that is very true.
Red Sox, it's a scenes for sure. What is that? 4 straight losses?
Yep.
Handball, yes.
Oof.
Diego, it's almost like a
Shambolic for me on the
certain wise
scoreboard,
scholar
too.
said the Red Sox seem more capable of going on a losing streak than Tampa does.
Well, let's watch Chris Bryant's first homer as a Giant for the 9th time tonight.
No, thank you. Okay, can we just say
Also say-
Chris Bryant, who's from Las Vegas and played in Chicago for a while and had no connection to the city of San Francisco? What's up with the welcome home Chris Bryant tweets?
He
Yeah,
grew
that's
up a
weird.
Giants fan.
That's not
That's
home.
not home though. I
You're
grew
just
up.
mad.
I spent a majority of my life. No, I will
Rudy,
side
I
with Rudy on
understand you're
this.
mad.
I'll
get
side
it.
with Rudy on this.
Like if I'm
I'll side with Rudy. On
like that's equivalent to if I ended up if I was like, oh, I grew up a Royals fan and I ended up playing for the Royals someday, and I grew up in the Chicago suburbs and I get to the Royals and they say welcome home. Like, no, that's not home. Nor
No,
is
yeah,
it really
no,
that
it-
close. Like, it's kind of the same region.
Welcome home would only have applied to KB if he was actually from Cali, or if the Giants had drafted him and then traded him to the Cubs. Because then you can make the argument of welcome home, LMFAO, remember when we doinked that like 7 years ago? Well,
Welcome home.
now we've made it right for 2 months.
But no.
Chris Bryant's
Well, Carson is also our winner for this evening.
Makes up for the Cardinals being big fat losers at the deadline, baby.
We
will never hear the end of it.
Apparently we'll never hear it again because it makes up for it. So there you go.
Don't worry.
No,
Okay.
okay.
Make sure we don't hear him. Hold on.
There you go. So Carson in first, Diego in
There you
second,
go.
myself in third, Peyton in fourth, no one in fifth, John in sixth, Rudy in seventh, Nate in eighth, Cop in ninth, and Thatcher pulling up the rear there. And that'll do it.
Solid top 9.
Under 3 hours
Solid
this
top
evening. Take the on 3 hours. You can take the under. Who needs 4?
Oh yeah. True.
Correct.
Who needs 4 when you've got 3? It is the magic number after all.
Most women do. But
Hey,
that's-
everyone, y'all see our Twitter handles. Y'all know where to go, diamond-digest.com. Follow us on Twitter, at Diamond Digest. On Instagram, I believe we're at diamond.digest.
Twitter is diamond_digest, by the way.
yeah, cool.
Thank you. Put us in the search bar. You know where to find us. You'll see us. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with all of us. 3 people with good opinions and me. We've got Scott Diego Scott Diego, Rudy, and myself. Want to say thank you guys so much. Please come back next week. We'll miss you, and we hope to see you soon. Peace.
Go baseball,
Go
baby.
baseball.